Sydney Sweeney might actually be the last hope for Hollywood, and no, not because she's blonde, famous, or constantly trending online for breathing near a camera. It's because she still has a face. A moving face, a face capable of expressing actual human emotion without looking like it's buffering through a software update. There's literally a scene in Euphoria where Sydney's forehead wrinkles naturally while she's crying, and people online reacted like they'd witnessed some lost ancient art. Apparently, seeing a woman under 30 move her eyebrows is now considered revolutionary cinema. That's how deeply Hollywood's obsession with cosmetic perfection has rewired audiences, because somewhere along the way, actors stopped aging like humans and started aging like luxury candles left too close to a fireplace. Everyone is shiny, everyone has the same sculpted cheekbones, frozen smile, sharpened jawline, and suspiciously tension-free forehead, like they were all assembled in the same Beverly Hills lab. And honestly, it's starting to hurt acting itself, because acting is facial expression, not just dialogue, not just crying on cue. Real acting lives in tiny movements, the twitch in someone's lip before they break down, the forehead tension during fear, the way eyes wrinkle during genuine laughter. Human faces are emotional instruments, and when those instruments stop moving naturally, performances start feeling emotionally muted. Take Nicole Kidman, for example, one of the greatest actresses alive, and to be clear, this isn't about attacking someone for aging. Hollywood is brutal to women over 40 in ways, it simply is not to men, basically, but that pressure absolutely exists. But audiences and even critics have openly discussed how cosmetic procedures can sometimes affect emotional expressiveness on screen. And with Nicole, there are moments where the eyes are delivering devastation while the forehead looks like it quietly retired 3 years ago. It creates this very strange split screen effect where half the performance is fighting for its life while the rest of the face has entered power saving mode. That's the tragedy of it, because actors like Nicole Kidman become icons because of how expressive they were. I mean, look at how quickly younger celebrities now enter the same hyper-polished aesthetic pipeline. Millie Bobby Brown is a perfect example of someone, who's basically we watched grow up naturally on screen, then suddenly people started debating, fillers, lip changes, cosmetic tweaks, whether accurate or exaggerated, and the conversation stopped being about the performance entirely, and that's the real issue here. The second audiences become distracted trying to decode your face instead of watching your acting, immersion breaks, and Hollywood seems addicted to this cycle now. Young actors barely reach their mid-20s before they start morphing into the exact same Instagram-approved adult face, inflated lips, tightened skin, sculpted cheeks, fox eye lifts, aggressively symmetrical features. Everyone starts looking, basically generated. Meanwhile, natural faces are becoming memorable specifically because they're rare. That's why someone like Amanda Seyfried stands out so much. She's actually talked about wanting her face to remain expressive for acting purposes, which sounds obvious until you realize that's now considered unusual in Hollywood, but you can immediately see the difference on screen. She can look exhausted, terrified, emotionally shattered, genuinely overwhelmed, because her face still behaves like a human face instead of a luxury storefront mannequin. And honestly, nowhere does this cosmetic sameness, kind of look stranger than in period dramas. I mean, I'm sorry, but I cannot emotionally invest in an 18th century peasant woman fighting through, famine when she walks on screen looking like she gets salmon, facials and posts, get ready with me videos from a marble bathroom in Calabasas. You're supposed to be surviving, tuberculosis in Victoria, England. Why do you have 2026 filler cheeks and laminated influencer brows? It completely destroys, the immersion. And the problem gets even bigger when you compare modern Hollywood to older generations of actors. Look at actors like Al Pacino, Meryl Streep, Jack Nicholson, Jessica Lange, and Philip Seymour Hoffman. I mean, their faces age deeply, naturally, and that texture became part of the performance. Wrinkles carried emotion, imperfections carried character. Their faces told stories before they even spoke. And again, this isn't about mocking people for cosmetic work. I mean, some actors may have had procedures, some may have not. A lot of online speculation gets widely exaggerated, but the perception itself matters because film depends on emotional connection. Audiences subconsciously read faces every second at characters on screen. That's why this whole thing matters more than people think. Cinema relies on imperfection, expression, and ironically, in Hollywood's obsession with preserving youth forever, it may have accidentally started erasing the very thing that made movie stars compelling in the first place. Because no matter how flawless someone looks, if an audience stops emotionally believing the face they're looking at, the performance is going to die out.
One celebrity spent so much money on fake teeth, fans said she looked AI generated. Another literally lost a tooth eating a fruit roll-up. And one star shaved down her real teeth so badly she may need fake teeth for the rest of her life. But somehow the craziest story involves a 10-year-old flashing diamond grills online while her dad walks around with titanium teeth worth almost $1 million. Yeah, these celebrity veneers are starting to sound less like beauty upgrades and more like psychological warfare. Now, Miley Cyrus has slowly transformed her smile for years, and fans think they finally figured out what changed. Back during her Hannah Montana era, Miley had small gaps, uneven teeth, and a very gummy smile. But over time, her teeth became dramatically whiter, straighter, and more symmetrical. Then in 2023, fans completely lost it after her Used to Be Young music video dropped. Now, people immediately started accusing of Miley getting veneers, gum contouring, and crown work. Even cosmetic dentists online started breaking down her smile frame by frame. Now, some fans loved the polished Hollywood look, while others said she'd look like a completely different person. But here's the scary part about veneers that nobody talks about. When Miley wakes up one day and realizes that she hates them, there's no simple undo button. Veneers usually require shaving down your real teeth permanently, meaning that once you get them, you're basically committed for life. So even if Miley changes her mind years from now, she'll still need some kind of dental covering forever. Millie Bobby Brown's transformation shocked fans because it happened so fast. When she first appeared in Stranger Things, her slightly crooked teeth gave her a natural youthful look. But only a few years later, she debuted a brand new smile on The Tonight Show, and fans instantly noticed something was different. Her teeth suddenly looked perfectly straight, ultra white, and much more mature. Experts speculated that she may have used Invisalign along with veneers or bonding. And honestly, this new smile completely changed her face. Now, North West is already following directly in Kanye West's footsteps, and fans think things are getting a little out of control. In early 2024, North shocked social media after showing off diamond grills online just days after Kanye debuted his bizarre titanium dentures. Now, fans immediately started debating whether the look was fashionable or completely inappropriate for someone her age. But things only got more extreme from there. Soon, North was posting videos showing blackened teeth, giant diamond jewelry, facial piercings, and increasingly wild dental looks that had the internet freaking out. Now, at this point, fans are convinced that North is slowly becoming a mini version of Kanye in real time. And honestly, considering Kanye reportedly spent close to $1 million on his own teeth, people are terrified this trend is only getting started. Now, Hilary Duff's veneer story sounds like an actual nightmare. Years ago, she admitted she constantly chipped her front teeth while performing on stage. So eventually, she got veneers to fix the damage. But things got really bad on the morning of her wedding, because just hours before the ceremony, one of her teeth suddenly fell out. Now, Hilary said she immediately burst into tears before scrambling to find an emergency dentist. Now, luckily, they fixed the tooth in time, but imagine almost losing your smile on your wedding day. And Simon Cowell's teeth transformation became one of the internet's favorite celebrity roasts. Back during the early American Idol days, Simon had a pretty natural smile. But years later, fans noticed his teeth suddenly became much larger, much whiter, and almost unnaturally perfect. The internet absolutely destroyed him for it. Some people even compared his veneers to piano keys. Then things somehow they got worse. After reportedly damaging a tooth while eating peanut brittle, Simon decided to completely redo his veneers again. Now, the second makeover reportedly cost over $100,000. Now, thankfully, fans think the newer veneers look way more natural now.
Some facelifts are so subtle you notice the glow before anything else, and some are so noticeable the internet treats them like a group project it didn't agree to participate in. These are the celebrities with the best and worst facelift energy in Hollywood, and I want you to comment while watching whether you think each celebrity I mentioned is considered on the best or the worst list. So let's go. Starting with one that always gets people talking, Joan Van Ark. If you grew up on soap operas like I did, you know exactly who she is. Joan Van Ark was once the definition of classic Hollywood beauty, but over the years, her changing appearance sparked constant media attention and endless online debates about cosmetic procedures. Now, here's the thing. Aging in Hollywood under a microscope is not normal aging. It's aging under 4K cameras, harsh lighting, and comparison photos from like 30 years ago. But Joan Van Ark became one of those names people always bring up when discussing facelifts that change someone's overall look. Next up is Katie Price. Katie Price is basically the human version of try, adjust, repeat. She's been extremely open about cosmetic procedures and has had multiple surgeries over the years, including facelifts and reconstructive work. Her look has evolved so many times that it's almost like become part of her public identity. Whether you see it as transformation or overcorrection, she's often cited in UK media as an example of how repeated procedures can dramatically change facial structure over time. Best or worse, you know what to do. Next up is Melanie Griffith. Now, Melanie Griffith has also been at the center of public discussion for years regarding cosmetic work. In interviews, she has acknowledged undergoing procedures, and her evolving appearance has often been picked apart by tabloids. But what stands out in her case is the conversation it sparked about pressure in Hollywood, especially for women aging in an industry that literally profits off of use. Best or worse, let me know. Next up is Priscilla Presley. Priscilla Presley is one of the most widely discussed names in facelift conversations. Her transformation has been publicly analyzed for decades, with ongoing debate in entertainment media and among cosmetic surgeons, commenting on her appearance. She's also spoken about having procedures done in the past, which became part of a much larger conversation about what happens when corrective cosmetic work just goes too far. This is one of those cases where the internet doesn't just notice, it never stops noticing. Best or worse, what would Elvis choose? Next up is Gene Simmons. We're shifting gears a bit. So Gene Simmons is proof that cosmetic enhancement isn't just a woman's conversation. The Kiss frontman has been open about aesthetic work over the years, and his appearance has naturally evolved alongside his very loud personality. I mean, whether you see it as branding or maintenance, he's a clear example of how male celebrities are also heavily involved in facial cosmetic procedures in Hollywood culture. Best or worse, let me know. Next up is Courtney Love. Now, Courtney Love has always had a very public relationship with beauty standards and cosmetic work. Over the years, her face has changed enough to spark constant speculation, interviews, and think pieces about surgery versus, aging versus styling. She's one of the celebrities who gets pulled into the conversation every time we talk about facial transformations in Hollywood. Best or worse, let me know. Next up is Jackie Harry. Now, this one is important. Jackie Harry has been recently discussed in media coverage and viral commentary about facelift results and facial cosmetic work, especially as online debates picked up again in recent years. What makes her name come up so often is how different people interpret the same face depending on the photo, the lighting, and the era. It's a reminder that celebrity appearances are constantly being filtered through public perception before we even get to reality. Best or worse, I don't know, she looks good to me. Hollywood used to sell us the dream, but now half the red carpets look like a casting call for wealthy Victorian ghosts. And listen, I'm not even trying to be mean. I genuinely think something weird is happening to celebrity faces right now. So first up, let's talk about Christina Aguilera. The internet basically short-circuited after recent photos of her started circulating online. People were saying she looked dramatically different almost overnight. Her face became noticeably thinner and sharper, and fans started debating whether it was Ozempic, fillers, buccal fat removal, stress, lighting, witchcraft, who knows anymore, honestly. Then there's Lindsay Lohan. Now, before people attack me, Lindsay actually looks healthier lately than she did years ago, but people online still cannot stop talking about how dramatically her face has changed over time. She's become the center of constant debates about fillers, facial balancing, cosmetic refinement, and the entire modern Hollywood, Instagram face phenomenon. And honestly, that's part of the bigger issue here. Celebrities are starting to look less unique. Everybody has the same lifted brows, tiny nose, overfilled lips, and sculpted cheeks. Hollywood is slowly becoming Madame Tussauds with Wi-Fi. Then we have Zac Efron. Now, this man has been trapped in facial surgery conspiracy theories for years now. Zac explained that part of his facial changes came from a serious jaw injury, but the internet simply refuses to let it go. Every new appearance turns into a full forensic investigation. And honestly, this obsession with perfection is getting dystopian. People don't even want human faces anymore. They want Facetune in real life. Plastic surgeons are now saying patients are literally bringing in AI-generated photos of themselves and asking to look like that. Real doctors have warned that these AI beauty standards are physically impossible to recreate because human beings are not animated Pixar filters. Next up is Ariana Grande. Ariana's appearance sparked non-stop conversation over the past year because of how dramatically thin she became. Some fans were worried, others defended her. And then the internet did what it always does and turned into a courtroom of dermatologists and nutritionists who definitely failed biology. But this is where the conversation gets uncomfortable. We're reaching a point where celebrities celebrities are becoming so thin and so cosmetically enhanced that people aren't aspiring to look like them anymore. They're actually concerned. And finally, we have Katy Perry. Katy's recent appearances had fans split right down the middle. Some people said she looked stunning, others said she looked completely different, and honestly, that's the entire point of this video. Hollywood used to chase glamorous. Now it feels like it's chasing synthetic. Everybody is getting the same face, the same body, the same sharp jawline, the same frozen expression. At this point, if you dropped half these celebrities into a police lineup, it'd only identify them by their veneers. And maybe the weirdest part is this: the more celebrities try to look perfect, the less human they actually look. That might be the first beauty trend in history where, regular people collectively went, yeah, no thanks. Something strange is happening in Hollywood, and it's written all over people's faces, literally. Some of these stars walked into fame looking one way and came out the other side looking like they survived a blender, a time machine, and maybe a malfunctioning beauty filter all at once. Let's start with Madonna, the woman who reinvented herself a dozen times. But this latest reinvention had the entire internet in a chokehold. Her face debuted at an award show looking swollen, stretched, and almost swollen to the point of inflation. Fans blamed fillers, over tightening, and aggressive contouring, leaving her expression stuck somewhere between surprised and stunned. The material girl suddenly looked like she was made of brand new material. Then you've got Zac Efron, once the poster boy for jawlines that made teenagers lose their minds, mine included. Then he popped up online with a jaw so wide, people thought he was in prosthetics for a movie. Nope, he later explained he shattered his jaw in an accident, and the muscles grew out of control. But the internet had already had its theories. His new face sparked everything from Botox gone rogue to handsome Squidward cosplay. Courtney Cox, everybody's favorite clean line, sarcastic queen from Friends. Years later, when she turned up noticeably puffier, rounder, and frozen, fans panicked. She later admitted she went overboard with, fillers and had them dissolve. She said she didn't even realize how far it had gone until she saw old pictures. That's when you know it's bad, when your past self could sue your current self for identity theft. Next is Simon Cowell, a man whose face changed so much over the years that even he joked about it. Fillers, Botox, tightening, smoothing. His face started looking like it was permanently set to emoji mode. Eventually, he admitted he pushed it too far and reversed all of it. I mean, when you're the one sending contestants home, but your own face gets voted off the island, that's when it's time to retire the syringe. Renee Zellweger, and then there's Renee Zellweger. When she appeared at a red carpet event looking dramatically different, softer cheeks, lifted brows, smoother skin, the internet had a meltdown. Some people defended her, others said she was just unrecognizable. She denied major surgery, but whatever changed, her face sparked a whole cultural debate. It was less Bridget Jones's Diary and more Bridget Jones's Witness Protection Program. So what is the theme here? Hollywood demands eternal youth, but the price is usually your face. These celebrities aren't ruined, but they're proof that, chasing perfection can take you far away from the features the world fell in love with you for. And in the end, nothing ages you faster than trying way too hard not to. Plastic surgery has officially entered its "you blinked and the whole face changed" era. First up is Donatella Versace. She is one of the most referenced names in this conversation. Over the years, she has openly admitted to cosmetic procedures, and public appearances have shown very dramatic shift in facial structure, often discussed in fashion and entertainment media. She's still a fashion powerhouse, but her look has become a textbook example of how heavy cosmetic work can, sometimes redefine someone's natural features. Next up is Priscilla Presley. She has also been widely reported in cosmetic surgery circles, especially after procedures in the early 2000s that were later acknowledged in interviews and news coverage. She has spoken about complications from unlicensed treatments, which fueled ongoing discussions about the risks of facial fillers and how irreversible some outcomes can be. Heidi Montag became a reality TV case study in extreme surgery culture after undergoing multiple procedures in a single day during her late 20s. She has openly discussed in interviews over the years, often reflecting on how quickly things escalated when, fixing one thing turned into changing almost everything. Jocelyn Wildenstein, often nicknamed in tabloids as a symbol of extreme cosmetic transformation, has been covered extensively by global media for decades. Her appearance became one of the most recognized examples of long-term surgical alteration, frequently analyzed in documentaries about beauty obsession and wealth-driven procedures. Janice Dickinson, one of the world's first supermodels, has been very open in interviews about her cosmetic work. She's discussed facelifts, breast augmentation, and adjustments over time, and her evolving appearance has often been used in in media discussions about aging in the modeling industry and the pressure to stay camera ready. Pamela Anderson has had one of the most publicly shifting beauty narratives in Hollywood. From her Baywatch era to her most recent makeup-free appearances, she's talked in interviews about stepping away from heavy enhancement culture and redefining what beauty means later in life, which makes her transformation especially interesting rather than just controversial. Most extreme kind of on this list. Tori Spelling has been discussed in entertainment media for years regarding multiple cosmetic procedures. She has addressed some of the allegations publicly, and her changing look over time has often been tied to Hollywood pressure, early fame, and long-term media scrutiny. Pete Burns, the late frontman of Dead or Alive, was extremely open about his surgeries and even described himself as someone who continually corrected previous procedures. His look became one of the most documented examples in music history of extreme transformation driven by cosmetic revision cycles. Carrot Top has long been a subject of speculation in comedy and entertainment media due to his noticeably changed facial structure over the years. While he hasn't confirmed specifics in detail, public comparisons across decades of performances have made him a frequent example in discussions about male cosmetic procedures in Hollywood. Amanda Lepore is one of the most iconic figures in avant-garde beauty culture. She has openly discussed her extensive surgeries in interviews and documentaries, and her look has been intentionally crafted as a form of self-expression, often cited in fashion and LGBTQ+ media as a symbol of transformation taken to its artistic extreme. Mickey Rourke. Now, Mickey Rourke is the blueprint for what happens when too many surgeries collide with the wrong surgeon. In the 1980s, he was considered one of the most handsome men in Hollywood. Then came boxing injuries, followed by reconstructive surgeries, followed by cosmetic tweaks, followed by more tweaks to fix the tweaks. His face became swollen, tight, uneven, and almost mask-like. Rourke himself admitted that most of his surgeries were attempts to fix damage and that several were done by the wrong doctors. I mean, once facial structure collapses like that, you can't just go back. I mean, bone shifts, scar tissue builds, muscles, stop moving naturally. This wasn't aging, this was permanent facial trauma. Jocelyn Wildenstein. Now, you cannot talk about irreversible plastic surgery without Jocelyn. Nicknamed the Catwoman, Jocelyn underwent extreme facial procedures over decades, reportedly to maintain a feline appearance her husband liked. So cheek implants, brow lifts, eye alterations, repeated fillers, and tightening procedures. The result wasn't youthful, it was anatomical distortion. I mean, her facial proportions changed so dramatically that doctors have said reversal simply just isn't possible. The skin, fat pads, and underlying structures were permanently altered. This wasn't one bad decision. This was like a slow, unstoppable transformation. Lil' Kim. Now, Lil' Kim's face change shocked fans because it happened gradually and then suddenly, like, all at once. Nose reshaping, skin lightening, fillers, jaw work, lip alterations, and a lot more. At one point, fans struggled to recognize her at all. She later opened up about deep insecurity and pressure to, conform to beauty standards in Hollywood. But medically speaking, repeated procedures on the same areas cause scarring, loss of elasticity, and facial imbalance. I mean, when that happens, doctors aren't sculpting anymore. They're basically patching, and patch jobs do not age well. Meg Ryan. Now, Meg Ryan built a career on being effortlessly expressive, big smile, crinkly eyes, a lot of warmth. Then came fillers, then came tightening, and then came facial volume loss. Her cheeks became stiff, her smile restricted, and her expressions muted. I mean, that's the danger with overfilling and aggressive lifting. You lose the very movement that makes a face human. So once facial muscles are altered or damaged, no amount of dissolving brings expression fully back. Hollywood didn't stop calling her because she aged. They stopped calling because her face stopped moving. Simon Cowell. Now, Simon Cowell openly admitted he went too far, and honestly, that admission came after the damage was already done. Excessive fillers stretched the skin, tightening procedures froze his facial muscles, his face appeared puffy, shiny, and rigid, almost like uncanny valley vibes. Now, he later dissolved fillers and swore off injectables, but here's the problem. Once skin is overstretched, it doesn't snap back. Doctors can reduce volume, they can't restore original texture or elasticity. The face remembers everything. Donatella Versace. Now, Donatella Versace didn't just age in the public eye, she transformed in it. Fillers, lip augmentation, tightening procedures, and just repeated facial work, that dramatically altered her appearance over time. Her features became exaggerated, pulled and structurally different from her original face. And while she's kind of embraced the look, I mean, plastic surgeons agree after decades of interventions and, the tissue itself just changes permanently. And at a certain point, maintenance becomes survival mode. Plastic surgery isn't about one procedure ruining a face, it's about repetition. It's about chasing youth instead of accepting evolution, and it's about letting fear drive the needle, because once you cross a certain line, there's just no fixing it. There's only learning to live with the face you created. And in Hollywood, that lesson is written all over these faces.
Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis, the Scream Queen, once spilled the beans about her plastic surgeries she did in this interview where she was frankly super honest about it. Turns out she went through a whole bunch of procedures like liposuction and Botox, but she said straight up that none of it really worked out the way she'd hoped. Even though her face didn't change drastically, you can definitely tell she's had some work done if you look closely. But despite all of that, apparently she's totally cool with aging naturally. At her age, she's still rocking it and keeping her status as the Scream Queen intact. Quite refreshing to see a celeb being real about this stuff. Jamie Lee Curtis teaches us that even with all the money and access to all these fancy procedures, things don't always turn out as planned. But at least she's still confident and embracing herself, and at the end of the day, I suppose that's what really matters. Coming up next is Blac Chyna, also known as Angela White, made some pretty big moves. She decided to undo a bunch of the plastic surgery stuff she had done before. See, she wasn't really feeling the way she looked anymore, so she got rid of all those fillers and stuff she had put in her face. Originally, she changed a lot about her face, her cheeks, her chin, her nose, her lips, I mean, you name it. But as time went on, she started feeling like she was looking a bit plastic, I guess. Then she came clean about it, saying that she felt a bit out there and not like herself anymore. She even told her fans that going under the blade for cosmetic reasons definitely wasn't worth it. She started going back to being called Angela, her birth name, and trying to get back to her original self. She admitted that the look wasn't great and it really didn't represent who she was. Undoing all that surgery took time, but now she's on the path to getting back to her natural looking self. If you're enjoying the video so far, you could support the channel by pressing like, subscribing to be on the screen, and ringing that notification bell. Coming up next is Michael Jackson, who is definitely the most well-known name on this list. And seeing that he made a very drastic change, he spent 30 years trying to look exactly like who he wanted to be. He had over 100 facial procedures done, mostly because one of his previous doctors had totally botched his face. He had multiple nose jobs, his skin bleached, lip fixtures, and cheek enhancements. There were a few different reasons why he made the changes, one being that he wanted to resemble Diana Ross, and another reason being that he wanted to remove any sort of resemblance to his father, whom he had a deep-seated hatred for. When he started out in music, he had acne scars and felt like his nose was too big, so a few years later, he got the scarring removed and had his nose fixed up so he felt a little bit better about himself. Over the years, he got his nose done numerous amount of times, totally got rid of his natural afro, made his cheekbones higher, his lips thinner, bleached his skin, and his eyelids raised. Overall, at the end of the day, I don't think it was really worth it, as he never really reached his ideal look. Next up, you won't believe it, but Courtney Cox spilled the beans about her experience with facial fillers. Yeah, she totally went for them, hoping to keep that youthful look going strong, but it did not turn out as planned. She was really hoping to dodge that aging bullet like most of us would, I guess. But instead of getting the results she wanted, it ended up being a complete and total regret for her. So what did she do? Well, she made the bold move to dissolve all those fillers. She just wanted to feel more like her old self and go for the natural look again. Plus, she mentioned something pretty interesting. She didn't like that the fillers messed with her facial movements. Imagine not being able to move your face properly because of all that stuff you got crammed in there. Yeah. No thanks. Next up, Kim Kardashian's journey with plastic surgery was quite the roller coaster. She's been on a transformation spree, starting with her famous back end implants that were practically a shelf for a champagne bottle. Cheeks, Yeah, she filled those up with some enhancers. She tinkered with her nose a whole bunch of times. And plus she went for a whole bunch of other body tweaks. But the kicker is that she's big on a skin enhancer thing that's all about filling and smoothing, making sure she's always picture perfect without a single blemish. Throw in those regular spray tans for that eternal sun-kissed look. And her contouring game used to be her thing, but enhancing those facial features like an artist, but more recently, she did a switcheroo by letting go of her Brazilian lift that she had going on, but apparently there was no surgery to undo that. She just went for the slow and steady weight loss route, letting things naturally settle back to normal. Next up is Kenny Rogers. So Kenny Rogers was aging so gracefully. He almost had this Santa Claus look going on, but you know, with the sweet features and that white beard. But then he messed all that up, deciding to tweak his cheekbones, went overboard on his eyelids, got a nose job, and ended up with this super fake tan. The result being, well, just say he didn't quite look like the Kenny Rogers we all knew and loved. I mean, some say he even resembled a, Walmart version of himself, like a bad taxidermy job gone wrong. It's kind of sad, but also a little bit funny. May he rest in peace, though. Despite all that, he left behind a legacy through his music that will always be remembered. Next up, Burt Reynolds. Yeah, remember him? He wasn't your typical Hollywood heartthrob, especially when he was younger. But hey, he aged pretty darn well, all things considered. However, as he got older, he decided to go through the surgery route to maintain his middle-aged charm. Problem was, did not pan out. Instead of enhancing his look, it totally backfired. He ended up looking more like a fragile grandpa than ever before. He used to credit his smooth skin to his pops, but as time went on, he got fewer wrinkles when he was middle-aged. He went all in with surgeries, getting a nose job, eye lifts, oodles of all kinds of Botox, and even a full facelift. Some say his face seems like it's being held together by those surgeries because it looks so tight and stretched. Now it seems like Burt might have missed the memo about embracing the natural look, but aging gracefully isn't everyone's cup of tea, I suppose. Next up is Joan Rivers. Joan Rivers, you know, she never truly was content with how she looked. Her daughter spilled the beans in a memoir mentioning that Joan went through 348 surgeries and a whopping 700 plus facial tweaks. Could you imagine? All that to chase a dream look that just kept slipping away. She'd crack jokes about celebs in her stand-ups, but she'd also throw shade at herself, which is a bit sad in hindsight. In 2014, during a routine throat procedure, things took a bad turn. It wasn't because she wanted more surgery, no, medical injuries snagged her life when her brain didn't get enough oxygen during that procedure. Which is super wild considering the fortune she poured into her looks. But hey, teaches us something important, that no amount of surgery can fix how you feel on the inside. Next up is Donatella Versace. Back in the day, she had these naturally full lips and a smooth skin that were envied by many. Now fast forward, and her recent appearance makes heads turn, not in a good way. Doctors took a closer look at her recent pics and spotted some telltale signs. That extra shiny skin's probably too much Botox and laser treatments trying to make things smoother. And that's not all. They suspect some bone loss in her lower jaw, hinting at possible jaw implants. Versace is a classic cautionary tale about the risks of going too far with plastic surgery. Sometimes aiming for a better look can end up making things worse. So while celebs may have all the resources for surgeries, we can't always reverse these changes. And coming up last on our list is Betty White, the amazing lady we all adore. She did something quite unexpected, getting her eyelids lifted. Now she was all about embracing natural beauty, saying that we're all born unique and beautiful in our own way. But then she went for this eyelid lift. Now at first she wasn't too sure about it, scolding herself for years about it afterwards. But as she grew older, she kind of made peace with it. She realized it didn't totally mess up her lovable face or her charm. Betty always said that everybody's got their own special kind of beauty, but sometimes even the best need a little boost, I guess. And hey, it didn't change the fact that she was still the same witty, wonderful person we all knew and loved. So yeah, even someone as awesome as Betty White can try something new and still get away with it.
Now, Miley Cyrus has experienced ongoing physical transformations over the years, and some question if it's due to plastic surgery. In 2024, photos of her for cover art of a song and her appearance at the Grammys that year sparked speculation on whether or not she got plastic surgery, as people had been questioning her appearance. Now, talking to Reddit, many commented on the difference in her facial structure recently, believing that she had a buccal fat removal procedure done. "We need to imprison whatever plastic surgeon pioneered buccal fat removal," one person wrote. Now, Miley's also gotten veneers, and people think that they look just absolutely horrible, and people have even said that she looks like a horse. Can't tell if it's just the buccal fat removal or the giant veneers that make her look so off these days, a second person added, while someone else said she's had the nose job for years, but yes, she's wearing contour on top of that. Now, Miley's appearance at the 2025 Grammys looked very similar, as it appears that she's still getting work done. Modern Family star Reed Ewing opened up about how his body dysmorphia influenced his decision to get plastic surgery. "No one is allowed to be this ugly," he wrote in an essay. "It's unacceptable." He then explained that the disorder led him into a plastic surgery addiction, and that he had a number of procedures done, including cheek and chin implants, implant removals, injectable fillers, and fat transfers. Now, his first surgery was cheek implants in 2008. He believed this surgery would make him look like Brad Pitt. However, he was horrified by the results, which he described as horrendous. Now, this went on for years, with him getting surgeries and healing in between seasons of Modern Family. In the end, though, he said, "Plastic surgery is not always a bad thing. It often helps people who actually need it for serious cases, but it's a horrible hobby, and it will eat away at you until you've lost all self-esteem and joy. I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries. Now I can see I was fine to begin with and didn't need the surgeries at all." Melanie Griffith admitted to having plastic surgery, but after she was criticized, she apparently had the procedure reversed. Now, Melanie had discussed the downsides of experimenting with cosmetic surgery in the recent years by saying she didn't know how addicted she had become to plastic surgery until people started saying, "Oh my god, what has she done?" In 2017, she admitted, "I had surgery 20 years ago, and then about 7 years ago, I started doing injections. I think I must have been allergic to it. I went to a different doctor, and he started dissolving all this that the other woman doctor had put in. Hopefully, I look more normal now." But some people still think she's had other procedures because she does not look like herself. But it seems like she won't be coming clean about that anytime soon. Now, Dove Cameron's facial transformation from 2008 to 2023 is shocking, to say the least. She has changed drastically, and while some of these changes are due to her just growing up, others seem to have been done by plastic surgeons. While Dove has been transparent about her image and body issues, she hasn't admitted to receiving plastic surgery, but numerous publications, including the US Sun, have speculated that Dove received a variety of cosmetic procedures throughout her time in the spotlight. According to these sources, cosmetic and dermatological experts have spotted radical differences in her features. In fact, they allege that Dove's facial transformation was so notable that it couldn't just be from natural aging and weight loss. It's been said that she's had a nose job, cheek fillers, a fox eye lift, and more recently a buccal fat removal. Again, Dove has never admitted to this, but she could have just kept the procedures a secret. Since a viral video of Zac Efron in 2021, fans have had questions about his face and if he's had any plastic surgery done. I mean, his face just looks extremely different, and it had his fans concerned. Many people just assumed he got a botched plastic surgery, but Zac did an interview with Entertainment Tonight and explained that his different looking face was due to a jaw injury in 2013. It wasn't due to a botched plastic surgery. You see, Zac broke his jaw and had to have his mouth wired shut after he was running through the house in socks, slipped and hit his face on the granite corner of a fountain and lost consciousness. When he woke up, his chin bone was hanging off his face. He added that when he was injured, the masseter muscles on the inside of his face and jaw compensated for his injury and grew massively in size, hence his transformation. Now, maybe we noticed a difference because back in 2021, Zac took some time off from physical therapy while in Australia, which accounts for the change in his appearance at the time. The masseter muscles just grew, he explained. They got really, really big. Now, at the end of 2024 and now in 2025, his look is way better. But still, there was one point where we could hardly recognize recognize him. In March of 2023, fans were shocked when they saw singer Liam Payne step out on the red carpet. Now, Liam debuted a shockingly slimmed down face on the carpet, which didn't go unnoticed by fans or cosmetic surgery experts. He didn't look bad before, but his face, instead of looking soft and a little bit chubby, it looks modelish and rugged, celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Ratman Kassir said. Now, as Liam debuted his new look, fans theorized that the star had undergone the popular cosmetic surgery buccal fat removal. Dr. Azza Hallam, a board-certified multi-specialist physician, says that he doesn't think that fillers alone could help Liam achieve such a defined look in the lower part of his face, so he agrees that buccal fat removal most likely played a role. Now, taking to Twitter, fans voiced their appearance by saying, "No effing way Liam Payne got buccal fat removal surgery." Now, safe to say fans were shocked, and I was too, as it appeared to come out of left field. Now, sources close to Lil Kim say that she spent over $19,000 to bleach her skin, get a nose job, and alter her cheekbones. In an interview in 2005, Lil Kim finally admitted to getting several nose jobs done, and back in the day, Kim was one of the first hip-hop artists to undergo plastic surgery. Now, it was widely speculated that she had also undergone breast augmentation, chin and cheek fillers, and an eye lift. And speaking about why she wanted to alter her face in the same interview, Kim said, "I think I did it because I was a little too vain at the time. I was trying to be perfect, I'm a perfectionist," adding that she was a bit excessive when it came to surgery sometimes. Now, looking at her past photos, there's definitely a huge difference between her face, and she doesn't even look like her old self. Dr. Jennifer Levine, a board-certified plastic surgeon, said it's clear that there's been some skin bleaching, and added that Kim has probably had her eyes done as well. But the biggest differences, according to Jennifer, are to her jawline. She could have had Botox injections under the jaw for a more chiseled look, she told Us Weekly, and in case it's not obvious, Kim probably had filler injected into her cheeks. And finally, Sharon Osbourne has had plastic surgery many times, but a facelift she had in late 2021 ended up destroying her face. At the time, she said, "I had a full facelift done in October, and I looked like one of those effing mummies they wrap up with bandages," she said to the Sunday Times in April 2022, adding, "It hurt like hell, you have no idea." Sharon said that after the more than 5-hour surgery, she was left looking horrendous. She told the surgeon, "You've got to be effing joking. One eye was different than the other, I looked like an effing cyclops. I'm like, all I need is a hunchback," she said. And yeah, that sounds seriously bad. Even her husband, Ozzy Osbourne, was shocked at the results. Sharon revealed he assured her though, "I don't care how much it costs, we'll get it redone." Now, she ended up getting reconstructive work done, and now she's satisfied with her appearance, but hopefully she'll stay away from getting more work now, but it seems like she's really addicted. Kylie Jenner was caught crying during a new episode of The Kardashians about the hate she was receiving about her new look, as her face has seemed to completely change since she allegedly got plastic surgery. Now, Kylie Jenner is no stranger to fillers or Botox, but people think she's gone too far with her procedures now. At the beginning of the year when she was on red carpets, fans were calling her out for looking old. The comments came pouring in, with one saying, "What did Kylie Jenner do to her face? I read that she's only 26, but she looks old as hell here." Now, Kylie has addressed this on a new episode when she was talking to her sister Kendall. Kylie opened up about the backlash she received about her appearance and plastic surgery over the years. "It's like a miracle that I still have confidence and I can still look in the mirror and think that I'm pretty," she admitted to her sister Kendall as the two chatted on the couch. She went on to talk specifically about Paris Fashion Week, which she attended in September 2023. The younger Jenner said that for the first time, she decided she was not going to wear a lot of makeup while attending shows, which still prompted critics to attack her looks. "I'm wearing too much makeup, and it's like you're wearing too much makeup, then I go and I don't wear a lot of makeup and someone catches me in a weird light," she complained. Now, speaking in a confessional setting, Kylie noted that it wasn't just this particular story that upset her. "I just hear nasty things about myself all the time," she told a producer behind the camera, adding that after 10 plus years in the spotlight, it just gets exhausting. Chrissy Teigen has also caught some flack for her looks recently. Chrissy revealed in September 2021 that she underwent fat removal from her cheeks. In an Instagram story, she wrote, "I did that Dr. Diamond buccal fat removal thing here," while pointing to her cheeks, adding, "And since I quit drinking, I'm really seeing the results, and I like it. Yeah, I did it. What?" Then in January 2023, Chrissy shared a screenshot via her Instagram stories of a social media user who alleged that her face looked puffy due to face filler. "Have you seen Chrissy Teigen's new face?" the user wrote at the top of the video. "This post is not out of mean intentions, it's merely here to discuss overfill and its possible consequences. Chrissy Teigen's new face. Look at how your face could become if you're doing it wrong. There's too much reliance on hyaluronic gel fillers and not enough focus on building foundations, skin structure, and support. This can result in a puffy and bloated effect." Anya Taylor-Joy was one of the first celebrities people think got buccal fat removal that started the craze. In a recent Reddit thread, many fans began sharing their theories as to why they believe Taylor-Joy went under the knife for a more sculpted and sunken look, emphasizing her cheekbones. "I wish she didn't do buccal fat removal, she looks so cute," one fan commented. "Her face is no longer round and puffy, but chiseled and a little sunken." One user wrote, "Why is no one talking about the obvious nose job and buccal fat removal from her cheeks?" Now, Megan Fox's face has definitely changed throughout the years, and people were convinced that she had some sort of work done. Now, she had enough, and in 2011, she denied having any work done, and to prove this and stop the rumors, she posted an album to Facebook titled "Things You Can't Do With Your Face When You Have Botox" that featured pictures of her making various facial expressions. Now, after this was posted, a dermatologist explained her photos actually proved that she did have Botox. Now, recently though, Megan opened up about all the plastic surgery she's had, and she said that she got her breasts done when she was 21 or 22, and then had them redone after breastfeeding her kids. According to her on the Call Her Daddy podcast, she said, "I got them done in between the first and second Transformers, and Megan got them done as a young woman, and later on she had kids, and breastfeeding ruined her breasts, so it forced the star to hide her chest and herself from the public until they were fixed." Except they didn't get fixed. According to her, the second time she got her breasts done, the implants were actually too large, and her body fat couldn't hide the edges of the implants, and they showed through her bare skin. Dove Cameron's facial transformation from 2008 to 2023 is incredible. She has changed drastically, and while some of these changes can be credited to just growing up, it appears that she's had some help from some plastic surgeons. While Dove has been transparent about her image and body issues, she hasn't admitted to receiving plastic surgery, but this hasn't stopped her from being the focal point of a lot of plastic surgery rumors. Now, numerous publications, including the US Sun, have speculated that Dove received a variety of cosmetic procedures throughout her time in the spotlight. According to these sources, experts have spotted radical differences in the former Disney Channel star's face features. In fact, they allege that Dove's facial transformation is so noticeable that it couldn't just be from natural aging and weight loss. It's been said that she had a nose job, cheek fillers, a fox eye lift, and more recently, buccal fat removal. Again, Dove has never admitted to this, but she could have just kept the procedures a secret. Now, Miley Cyrus has experienced ongoing physical transformations over the years, and some question if it's due to plastic surgery. Miley's faced rumors that she got a boob job when she was 20 years old after she started adding more chest-bearing clothing to her wardrobe. And recently, in new cover art for a new single and her appearance at the Grammys, people have been questioning her appearance. Taking to Reddit with a photo of the cover reveal, some fans couldn't help but call out the celeb's noticeably carved out cheeks. Many commented on the difference in her facial structure recently, believing she had a buccal fat removal procedure done. "We need to imprison whatever plastic surgeon pioneered buccal fat removal." Now, she's also gotten veneers, and people think they look horrible, and some have even said that she looks like a horse. Can't tell if it's the buccal fat removal or the giant veneers that make her look so off these days, someone added. Now, in 2023, Liam Payne debuted a shockingly slimmed down face on the red carpet, which did not go unnoticed by fans or cosmetic surgery experts. He didn't look bad before, but his face, instead of looking soft and a little bit chubby, it looks more modelish and rugged, celebrity plastic surgeon Dr. Ratman Kassir said. Fans theorized the star had undergone the popular cosmetic surgery buccal fat removal. Now, taking to Twitter, fans voiced their opinions by saying, "No effing way Liam Payne got buccal fat removal surgery. Liam Payne getting buccal fat removal is sending me to the actual moon." And a third wrote, "Still can't believe Liam Payne got buccal fat removal." Now, Dr. Azza Helm, a board-certified multi-specialist physician, says she doesn't think that fillers alone could help Liam achieve such a defined look in the lower part of his face, so she agrees that buccal fat removal likely played a role. Courtney Cox has opened up and revealed she regrets certain procedures she's had done to keep up with Hollywood standards. In 2016, she said, "Getting older is not the easiest, but I have learned lessons. I was trying to keep up with being older, and I have done things that I regret, and luckily they're things that dissolve and go away, so that's good, because it's not always been my best look." Admitting that she looked really strange after going under the knife. "There was a time where you go, oh, I'm changing, I'm looking older, and I didn't realize that, I'm actually looking really strange with injections and doing stuff to my face that I would never do now." Now, a lot of people don't believe her though, as she still looks completely different. In late 2022, Lea Michele posted some selfies that had fans questioning if she got buccal fat removal done. On December 12, 2022, Lea posted a selfie of herself comparing her features to those of the White Lotus's character Lucia. Now, users took to Twitter and TikTok talking about how it was obvious that she had undergone buccal fat removal. Now, if you look at her before and after photos, it's kind of a jump scare because she looks so different. Now, many people online have begun to make fun of her, comparing her to photos of chiseled Squidward from the show SpongeBob. Now, is it mean? Kinda, but is it funny and true? Absolutely. Now, there's been a rise in this type of plastic surgery, and while the procedure has been around for over 50 years, I'm doing 3 times as many buccal fat reductions this year than I was 5 years ago, New York plastic surgeon Dr. Andrew Janko says. Now, Lea hasn't admitted to having anything done, but clearly she did something. People's faces just don't change like that. And lastly, we have Lil' Kim. Sources close to Lil' Kim says that she spent over $9,000 to bleach her skin, get a nose job, and alter her cheekbones. In an interview in 2005, Lil' Kim finally admitted to getting several nose jobs done, and back in the day, Kim was one of the first hip-hop artists to undergo plastic surgery. Now, it was widely speculated that she'd also undergone a breast augmentation, chin and cheek fillers, and an eye lift, and speaking about why she wanted to alter her face in the same interview, she said, "I think I did it because I was a little too vain at the time. I was trying to be perfect, I'm a perfectionist," adding that she was a bit excessive when it came to surgery sometimes. It's clear that there's been skin bleaching and that she probably had her eyes done as well. It's also said she could have had Botox injections under the jaw for a more chiseled look, and that Kim probably had filler injected into her cheeks. Michael Jackson looked extremely different from the beginning of his career right up until his death. Now, a lot of people think this was due to plastic surgery and various health issues he had. One of the most noticeable changes was his nose. Now, he actually eventually admitted to getting a nose job in a 2003 documentary with Martin Bashir. He said, "I had no plastic surgery on my face, just my nose. It helped me breathe better so I can hit higher notes. I'm telling you the honest truth. I didn't do anything to my face," he said. Then there was the issue of his skin color though. Michael told Oprah Winfrey back in the early 90s that he suffered from vitiligo, a skin condition that created pale blotches on his body. His dermatologist, Dr. Arnold Klein, confirmed that in 2009, saying his was bad because he began to get a totally speckled look all over his body. It was all over his body, but on his face significantly and his hands, which were very difficult to treat. Now, it's been rumored that he used bleaching cream to make his skin tone more even. However, other experts have claimed that Michael had a lot more done than just one nose job and skin lightening. Michael got his first nose job in 1979, and he claimed he got the surgery not because he wanted a smaller nose, but because he broke it during a dance rehearsal and needed an operation. But then he got it done more times. Now, LaToya Jackson appeared to follow in her brother's footsteps when it came to getting botched plastic surgery, especially on her nose. On October 13th, 2017, LaToya was spotted dashing out of a drugstore. Now, strangely, she was wearing a hairnet, leading sources to speculate that she'd undergone cosmetic work earlier in the day. Now, this is valid for people to assume because if you look at photos of her throughout the years, you can literally see her nose shrinking, and obviously that's not natural. As her face evolution was then reviewed by a panel of America's top plastic surgeons, and while none of them had treated LaToya, they all agreed that she's undergone the knife for multiple nose jobs. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Lisa Rinna turned heads recently, and not in a good way, due to how her face looked. Now, Lisa attended the 2024 Fashion Trust US Awards in Beverly Hills in April, but as soon as photos and videos were released to the star, people began questioning her looks, claiming that she had too much face filler. Now, Lisa then responded to the comments about her looks, saying that she used SkinVive, which is described by the FDA as a gel implant or dermal filler that is injected in specific areas of facial tissue to add definition or reduce the appearance of lines and wrinkles. Now, she said this was not good for her. SkinVive is not good for everyone, and it was not good for me. Luckily, we could dissolve it today. Phew, she wrote. Now, there were also concerns of her lip fillers that she's had in the past, as the silicone caused hard and bumpy scar tissue on her lips. Now, Madonna's face has been ever changing, and there's been a lot of speculation that she's gotten a lot of work done. But in 2023, she finally admitted that she had plastic surgery, but she has not revealed what the procedures were or how often she's gone under the knife. Board-certified surgeon Dr. Barry Winterbob, who reviewed before and after images of Madonna, said he saw signs of at least 12 cosmetic facial procedures, which he estimates would have cost multiple six-figure sums, which is not surprising at all. Now, accusations really came to a head after the singer presented an award at the 2023 Grammys. She looked nothing like her past self, and fans were calling her out on social media for her excessive plastic surgery. Now, it's been reported that she was affected by these comments, and she accused those of making the comments of ageism and misogyny at the time, but later admitted to having plastic surgery after posting a photo with the caption, "Look at how cute I am now that the swelling from surgery has gone down, LOL." Now, this isn't the first time that fans have accused Madonna of trying out plastic surgery, as in the 1990s there were rumors that she was trying out Botox and was undergoing a nose job. She's never confirmed or denied these allegations, but looking at photos of her and comparing them, you can tell there's a huge difference, which you can't just attribute to aging. Now, Joan Rivers was the queen of plastic surgery. Joan passed away in September 2014, and afterwards, her daughter Melissa wrote a memoir called The Book of Joan: Tales of Mirth, Mischief, and Manipulation as a tribute to her life. In the memoir, though, she revealed that Joan had 348 cosmetic operations over her life and was never happy with the way that she looked, which fed into her sense of being less than. Now, that is truly just insane to me. Now, when speaking about the plastic surgery, Joan said, "My motto is better a new face coming out of an old car than an old face coming out of a new car." Now, Joan admitted to having Botox injections, several nose jobs, an eye tuck, liposuction, and a few facelifts. Now, in the end, Joan passed away due to a botched elective surgery she was having on her throat, and every surgery had a risk, but she didn't care, which in the end contributed to her death. Heidi Montag went overboard when it came to plastic surgery. I'm honestly surprised that no one put a stop to it because it seemed so dangerous. In 2010, she had 10 cosmetic procedures done in one day. Yes, 10 of them. Now, the star was just 23 years old at the time, with the surgeries including a chin reduction, liposuction, a breast augmentation, a brow lift, rhinoplasty revision, facial fat injections, and an ear pinning surgery. Ahead of her operations, her surgeon told her that she would recover within a few months, but it actually took her over a year to get back on her feet and back to normal. "I could barely talk, my jaw, I had part of my chin sawed off. I mean, it was really a lot," she said. "We had to have houses at the house for months to help me recover." Now, she also had something really scary happen during the procedures that she finally spoke about in 2018. She told Paper Magazine that she actually died for a minute at the recovery center post-surgery, after she was given an incorrect dose of a painkiller. "My security guards called Spencer, who is her husband, and told him Heidi's heart stopped, she's not going to make it," she told the publication. Yeah, it's absolutely insane that she was able to get all of that done at the same time, and shame on the surgeon who did that to her. And now we have Tara Reid admitting to getting a botched boob job and body contouring procedures in the past. Now, in an interview, she said that she consulted a plastic surgeon in 2004 and she asked for big B's, but instead he gave her C cups and she didn't want them. Now, after the surgery, she immediately noticed that her nipples were deformed. But after 6 months of "it's going to get better," it started to get worse and worse. "I never thought I'd have nipples that looked like this," she said. Then, to make things worse, she had a nip slip on the red carpet at P. Diddy's 35th birthday party in New York. Now, it wasn't just the fact that she had a nip slip that made headlines, it was because it was revealed to the world that her boob job was botched. Now, instead of her areola being a perfect round circle, hers was different, as if a chunk had been cut out. And after the incident, Tara was labeled Franken nipple and later had to explain that her plastic surgery had gone wrong. She said, "I was already dealing with what it looked like. The last thing I wanted to happen was have the whole world see it." Now, she also had a procedure called body contouring done by the same surgeon and was unhappy with the results. "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing," she said. "I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." Years later, after doing some thorough research on doctors, she went under the knife again to get the previously botched jobs corrected. She says that she saw a therapist for about a year to get help with her confidence issues, and she settled down. Thankfully, she seems to be happy with how she looks now, but I can't imagine all the physical and mental pain that she went through with those first surgeries.
Courtney Cox's face took a wild detour. She went from friends to frenemies with fillers to finally finding the one with natural beauty. The actress's face has been on a wild ride, and her candidness about it makes her the Monica Geller of cosmetic regrets. Like many Hollywood stars, Courtney felt the pressure to hit pause on aging. She dove headfirst into the world of fillers, injections, and lasers. As she admitted, she was chasing that elusive fountain of youth. But somewhere along the way, things took a detour. She eventually realized she'd gone too far, confessing she looked really strange with all the enhancements. In 2017, she decided to dissolve her fillers, embracing a more natural look. It was like she Marie Kondo'd her face, getting rid of anything that didn't spark joy. Now, Courtney's all about aging gracefully, sticking to minimal laser treatments and skincare. She's even sworn off cosmetic procedures completely. Her journey is a hilarious and relatable reminder that sometimes less is more, and the best friends are the ones who tell you the truth about your overfilled cheeks. Kylie Jenner's face has had more work done than a fixer-upper. The youngest Jenner's transformation is a wild ride of fillers, implants, and ever-evolving features, leaving us wondering, what will she tweak next? Kylie's cosmetic journey began with lip fillers, addressing what she called an insecurity. This led to the infamous Kylie Jenner Lip Challenge, which sent teens to emergency rooms with swollen, bruised, and sometimes punctured lips. Talk about a beauty disaster. Later, Kylie confessed to getting breast augmentation at 19 before having her daughter Stormi. Now she regrets the decision, wishing she'd waited. It seems even the beauty mogul has second thoughts about her choices. Of course, the rumor mill doesn't stop there. Experts speculate about rhinoplasty, cheek fillers, and jawline contouring. While Kylie hasn't confirmed these procedures, side-by-side photos show a noticeable difference. Whether it's a little nip and tuck or a full-blown makeover, Kylie's transformation has definitely kept us on our toes. Tara Reid's quest for perfection turned into a plastic surgery nightmare. The actress's search for a six-pack and perkier chest turned into a cautionary tale that's more terrifying than any Sharknado. Tara, seeking a body worthy of a Baywatch babe, underwent liposuction and chest augmentation. But the procedures went south, leaving her with a ripply, bulgy stomach and deformed nipples. One surgeon gave her C-cups, even though she asked for big B's, and was not satisfied. As she would later lament, "I was on the websites as having the ugliest implant surgery in the world. Ouch." Then came Taradice, her short-lived reality show. Turns out, partying on camera wasn't the best career move. As she would admit, it was probably the stupidest thing I ever did. I didn't know it was going to ruin my career. Double ouch. A wardrobe malfunction at a P. Diddy party in 2004 added insult to injury when she accidentally exposed her botched implant to the world. It was a field day for the paparazzi, and Tara was devastated. Tara eventually underwent reconstructive surgery and sought therapy to address her confidence issues. Her story is a reminder that sometimes the pursuit of perfection can lead to a total disaster. Heidi Montag took 10 surgeries in a day, a little too literally. The Hill star's pursuit of perfection led to a shocking transformation, proving that sometimes less is more, especially when it comes to cosmetic enhancements. In 2010, Heidi became infamous for undergoing 10 procedures in a single day. A cosmetic surgery buffet that included a nose job, chest augmentation, liposuction, brow lift, chin reduction, cheek implants, lip enhancements, a butt augmentation, and ear pinning. It was a drastic makeover that left fans and critics stunned. So, what exactly went wrong? Her nose job, already a revision of a previous procedure, didn't quite deliver the desired result. As for her cheek implants, some experts believe they may look abnormal as she ages due to fat distribution changes in the face. Her chest implants were also excessively large for her size, potentially leading to back problems, drooping chest, and nursing difficulties if she has children. Recovery almost took her out after she was incorrectly dosed with pain meds, stopping her heart. Years later, Heidi's plastic surgery spree is less a quest for beauty and more a masterclass in what not to do. Her $100,000 makeover became a cautionary tale with complications galore, potential long-term health nightmares, and a valuable lesson. True beauty comes from within, and maybe a really good therapist. Donatella Versace's face is more House of Horrors than House of Versace. The Queen of Versace's transformation is a mix of high fashion and procedures that leave many fans wondering if she got lost in translation at the surgeon's office. Over the years, Donatella's face has become a canvas for what many suspect are multiple procedures. Experts speculate she's had a facelift to tighten skin, cheek implants or fillers for volume, a nose job to refine her nose, and an eyelid lift to reduce droopiness. The result? Skin so tight it could bounce a quarter, lips that resemble overstuffed sausages, and a nose that looks suspiciously different than it used to. What did she do to her face? One fan asked on social media. Some have claimed that Donatella's lips and cheeks are likely filled with silicone, pointing to a poofy appearance. She doesn't even look like herself anymore, another fan lamented. It's a transformation so dramatic that most don't recognize the designer. While Donatella hasn't confirmed any procedures, her ever-changing appearance has made her a poster child for cosmetic surgery that may have gone too far. Her transformation reminds us that fame and fortune can't buy happiness, especially if it costs you your original face. Michael Jackson's face was a masterpiece until surgery took the brush. The King of Pop's ever-evolving appearance sparked rumors and speculation, making him a poster child for plastic surgery gone wrong. Despite admitting to only 2 nose jobs, sources close to Jackson claim he underwent extensive procedures, including multiple rhinoplasties, cheek implants, a cleft chin implant, and eyelid surgery. One surgeon estimated Jackson had 10 to 12 surgeries in 2 years. The surgeries took a toll. Sources say his nose became so small because he was operated on repeatedly. Jackson eventually sought help to rebuild his nose using fillers after the cartilage collapsed. Original photos show a sharp contrast to the nose he later had. Beyond his nose, surgeons speculated that Jackson had a forehead lift and cheekbone surgery and altered his lips. Some theorize the whippings and emotional neglect from his father may have led to body dysmorphic disorder, fueling his desire for perfection through surgery. Jackson attributed his changing face to puberty, diet, weight loss, and stage lighting, denying most claims. Lil' Kim went from queen bee to a plastic surgery mystery. The rapper's transformation has left fans buzzing. Is it self-love or a surgical, oops, I did it again? Kim's journey started with fixing a broken nose from unhealthy relationship patterns, plus sugar-sweetened lips for a film role. Rumor has it, the sugar was just the start. Experts whisper about multiple nose jobs, skin bleaching, cheek implants, and even a tummy tuck. Dr. Gary Linkoff speculates at least 3 nose jobs by 35. By 2012, Kim's signature heart-shaped face had vanished, replaced by a filled-in look that left many wondering, where's the real Kim? Her nose, let's just say pinched, is an understatement. And while Kim once declared, I'm a bad person, I don't care what nobody say, her changing face now sparks more concern than envy. Lil' Kim's extreme transformation has unfortunately contributed to her career decline, as she looks like a completely new person with a different ethnicity. Once known for her unique look and undeniable talent, she's now a tale about chasing an image instead of embracing who you are. Janice Dickinson went from supermodel to surgery addict. From strutting runways to going under the knife, Janice has never been one to shy away from changing things up. Janice got her first mini facelift at 32 while dating Sylvester Stallone, aiming to nix those pesky jowls. Over the years, she's openly admitted to a tummy tuck, multiple facelifts, Botox, and chest augmentation. She even declared she lives for plastic surgery. But it hasn't all been smooth sailing. She appeared on Botched to fix a chest augmentation, only to pull the drain tubes out herself. In 2021, she said Dr. Dubrow botched her chest during the televised procedure, a claim he seemingly denied. Now, in her late 60s, Janice has faced health scares, including chest cancer. Through it all, she's remained candid about her choices. While some may raise eyebrows at her transformation, Janice has always been one to live life on her own terms.
Number 10, Kendall Jenner. Now, there have been rumors about the Kardashian crew getting cosmetic surgery since the moment that they first appeared on screen. Each and every member of this family has been accused of having either a nose job or cheek fillers, but Kendall has one noticeable difference that stands out from the rest of her family. In side-by-sides, Kendall's eyes are actually larger than they once were, as well as more almond-shaped. Several doctors have chimed in online and claimed that there's no way she could achieve this look just by using makeup, unless, there's some special magical substance that yanks your face back, which probably exists, but it's suspicious, which is basically what a ponytail facelift is, so it's really the only real explanation. Number 9, Selena Gomez. The former Wizards of Waverly Place star has been dodging surgery rumors left and right for a very long time. Fans have noticed her face changing over the years. Side-by-sides from her Disney days till now show drastic changes in her facial features. Not only does she clearly have some kind of cheek fillers, but her eyes are a lot more cat-like than the original form. Selena has admitted to using skincare products in the past, designated to enhance features without the need of invasive surgeries. However, no foundation on this earth can give Selena the features that she currently has. It comes as no surprise to learn that Selena is actually a spokesperson for several beauty and cosmetic brands and has adamantly denied that she has received any major surgeries over the years. She's been shutting down rumors left and right for a very long time, even deleting photos from her Instagram because they received such massive slews of negative comments. Now, while it's never been confirmed if she's actually received any kind of work, just watching her on screen is enough to prove that the young Alex Russo that a lot of people grew up with has vanished into thin air. Number 8, Bella Hadid. Bella is actually one of the main reasons that this surgery is becoming so popular. When you compare photos of Bella 10 years ago to the ones that are taken this year, it is night and day. Not only have her cheeks noticeably shrunken and become more toned, but her eyes are a lot more almond-shaped, and Bella was one of the first people to openly admit to receiving this treatment as a way to further enhance her already obvious beauty. Bella has been drenched in plastic surgery rumors for a long time, and in 2018 she clapped back at her so-called haters, telling them that she was horrified of what plastic surgery could do to her face. While this ponytail surgery is not the most extreme surgery there is, it's still an invasive one, and it's one of the more sensitive areas of your face to take care of, but that's okay as long as nothing gets, injected into your eyeballs, right? Everything's fine. Number 7, Nicki Minaj. When it comes to Nicki Minaj and plastic surgery, she only has one response. What's good, Miley? No, she denies it. Rumors have been flying around since the moment she first appeared on our screens and stages, and over the years, fans claim to have inside information that Nicki has received cheek implants, both on her face and on her backside, with one of her closest friends turning on her in 2013 and claiming that she was given the 411 on the big old buns, but as with many things involved with her looks, Nicki denies any enhancements of any kind. However, it doesn't take a super sleuth to realize that she has totally received some kind of work, right? Whether it's plastic surgery or not, she just looks different. Side-by-sides show that Nicki didn't have these naturally almond eyes like she has now when she first appeared on our screens. She may have never confirmed the surgery with her lips, but most certainly did with her face, because it looks different. Number 6, Ariana Grande. We have accepted that the former Nickelodeon star may have had some subtle procedures such as fillers, maybe some rhinoplasty. The jury's still out on whether she had a nose job, as Ariana has never confirmed this and actually went as far as denying it on Twitter, although she does have a habit of sometimes editing her nose on Instagram, so who knows? But we can't ignore the changes that we've seen this year. The singer has been rumored to have even more cosmetic surgeries towards the end of this year, causing her to look unrecognizable. The redhead that we loved on Victorious and Sam and Cat seems like a totally different person. Ariana's eyes are more almond-shaped, she has dimples in her cheeks when she smiles, and she never used to have. Ariana has never confirmed if she's received surgery or not, but the face that we know and love is hidden behind a new Ariana. Number 5, Kim Basinger. Kim Basinger is a former model whose face has looked suspiciously smooth and wrinkle-free in recent years, leaving many to believe that she has had some kind of work done. A few years ago, a plastic surgeon named Dr. Omar Tillo weighed in on it to to Express, and he said that he thinks that she's received Botox, cat eye surgery, and dermal fillers. He claims that if you look at previous photos, you can see apparent lines and wrinkles around Kim's eyes, and these could be treated with anti-wrinkle injectables like Botox. She has also clear lines around her mouth area, which could be the result of being smoothed out with dermal fillers. Kim's skin is also much fresher and has more of a complexion. This could be due to several factors like laser treatments. A second expert named Reza Nazab agreed and added that he believed that she might have also had a fat transfer or a facelift. This could explain the almond-shaped eyes behind the massive cheeks. Back in 2012, Kim's daughter, Ireland Baldwin, insisted that her mother had not received any plastic surgery while calling her the most naturally beautiful woman that there ever was or will be. Ladies, if you want to avoid any Botox, any other skin treatments, just listen to Ireland's mom. She hasn't had one treatment done because she stayed completely out of the sun all those years. She wrote it on an Instagram post. Kim herself has never addressed speculation surrounding her looks. Number 4, Catherine Zeta-Jones. When she attended the premiere of Entrapment in June 1999, she had the beginnings of crow's feet, especially when she smiled. But as the years went by, it seemed like those crow's feet vanished into thin air. And by the time this past year rolled around, she made a return to the mainstream, starring as Morticia Addams in the Netflix series Wednesday. She was a completely different human being, according to fans. Her skin was so smooth and her eyes were smaller than they once were, looking exactly like you would picture a person with fresh cat eye surgery to look like. Catherine was rumored to have received surgery after she was photographed entering a clinic in Beverly Hills, and she never confirmed that she received this specific surgery, but it's impossible to hide the obvious changes in the shape and face conditions. Number 3, Lil' Kim. For the past 25 years, she's been pushing the boundaries as a female rapper and breaking records. Lil' Kim's also considered to have pioneered mainstream love-positive feminism in hip-hop and has carved a path for many contemporary artists like Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, and Cash Doll. In addition to her unique sound and lyrical matters, she's known for her breathtaking, flamboyant fashion style and advocacy work for various causes. However, the American rapper served as an unforgettable MTV moment that made heads turn a few years ago. It's tough to deny her natural presence and beauty. After her lip surgery and a series of facial surgeries, she became unrecognizable to fans. Literally, people at her concerts were like, "Hey, who's that?" This speaks volumes, especially in front of the people who adore you the most. It also means that Lil' Kim had too much work done. Staying relevant in the scene can be challenging as more female rappers rise to fame. Unfortunately, Lil' Kim's attempts to fix her perceived natural flaws took her commanding presence and gorgeous looks away. Number 2, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay got her big break when Disney casted her to play 2 roles in the classic family comedy The Parent Trap. She played twin sisters Hallie Parker and Annie James, who randomly meet at a summer camp and discover their parents split them up when they were babies. The twins then hatch a plot to get mom and dad back together, and it is a great movie. I love it so much. Her career only seemed to rise from there, starring in cult classics like Freaky Friday with Jamie Lee Curtis and Mean Girls as, the main character, Catty Heron. Unfortunately, her character took a step in the wrong direction when she was arrested in 2007 for driving under the influence of a controlled substance, for which she served 84 minutes in jail. Yes, minutes. Some people spend years in jail, but Lindsay got a little warning because she's Lindsay Lohan. Until 2022, her career was at an abrupt standstill, and she decided to take that time to make some cosmetic adjustments. She got some work done to herself, and the little Lindsay that we grew up with is now trapped behind a thin layer of silicone. Number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram Live in December 2022, she talked about a procedure she had done to her butt years ago, and it gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, in 2021, Cardi B said that people thought she had work done when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injections removed. She went on to say that you should do your research and listen to doctors, and not just with, injections, but also anything involving your rear and all the other plastic surgeries and cosmetic surgeries as well. Like, really, just double check your sources, people. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because of the need to recover from liposuction. And on Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of it. That same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take time off. So Cardi's biggest thing is not that the procedures are bad themselves, but with the recovery time that it seems to take.
And at number 10, Steven Tyler. Steven Tyler did not intend on going under the knife when he did, but once he needed to get some procedures done, he thought he would kill 2 birds with 1 stone. After he fell in the shower while in Paraguay in 2011, he needed plastic surgery done to fix the damage. But since he needed reconstruction anyways, he felt it was the perfect time to fix some insecurities. He told Today that he went into the hospital and quote, "They stitched up my eye, they did a little plastic surgery, and they fixed my tooth all in one fell swoop." And at number 9, Ashton Kutcher. Ashton Kutcher has been in the industry for a long time. And since he started acting and modeling, it's been rumored that he underwent a nose job before he got famous. Apparently before getting his breakout role on That 70s Show, the actor's team thought his nose was too large, and it hurt his chances of getting roles. Reportedly because of this, he changed the size and shape of his nose. According to 100 Plastic Surgery, Kutcher reportedly got 2 surgical treatments. First when he was in high school, the second one later on when he was pursuing a modeling career. Another rumor has swirled that he's also gotten jaw implants. When comparing Ashton to his brother Michael, there is a noticeable difference in their jaws, leading some to believe he's either gotten fillers or implants to make his jaw more pronounced. And at number 8, Robert Pattinson. Robert Pattinson was once voted the most handsome man in the world, based on a metric that measures lengths of key facial features like the nose and lips. However, it's widely believed that he is not all natural. The Twilight star apparently had a rhinoplasty to adjust the bridge and tip of his nose before going on screen. It was reported that back when he was modeling, he stopped getting callbacks and blamed it on his nose. Pattinson has not confirmed this, but it doesn't stop anyone from speculating. It was also reported that he got liposuction. During the filming of Twilight, it was rumored that he wasn't as fit as he was supposed to be, so he got liposuction to look his best on camera. Then makeup artists would paint on a six-pack. He's also been accused of getting jaw implants because he is known for having a very pronounced jaw. And at number 7, Ryan Gosling. This hunk who stole the hearts of women in the movie The Notebook is another that's been accused of getting a nose job. Beauty blogger Michelle Villette has accused Gosling of having gone under the knife to straighten, thin, and refine his nose early in his career. Villette said, quote, "Do you think his nose is a little thinner, shorter, straighter, and less projecting now?" She compared photos of him during his Mickey Mouse days in the 90s to current photos of him from the 2000s, and she noticed a huge difference, adding, quote, "The bridge looks straighter, so it's possible that he may have already had work done by this point, or he had repeat nose jobs." A plastic surgeon agreed. When giving their 2 cents, the plastic surgeon said, quote, "In Ryan's case, his nose at the beginning of his career is significantly wider at the bridge and has a prominent hump. Fast forward 10 years and both of these features appear altered." And at number 6, Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt is one of the best looking men in Hollywood, and he got a small procedure that dramatically changed the shape of his face. It's been reported that when he was young, Pitt got a otoplasty, which is work on the ears. In his case, Pitt pinned his ears back to stop them from sticking out. If you compare photos of him then to now, it's clear that there has been a huge change with his ears. The change is pretty subtle and you might not have noticed if you weren't looking, but it's clear there has been some change. Also, when he was younger, Pitt always had longer hair that covered his ears, but after the procedure, he opted for a short-haired, spiky look that was trendy at the time. Halfway number 5, Zac Efron. Zac Efron also has been rumored to have underwent a nose job at the beginning of his career. He also had some work done to fix a gap tooth that he had while he was younger. This is one that's impossible to deny because the photo evidence just speaks for itself. As Efron got older and needed to look older to get more serious roles, he decided to not only hit the gym and become buff to lose his baby face, he also removed this gap. More recently, after Zac appeared on a Facebook Watch event for Bill Nye's Earth Day musical, the internet was set ablaze with rumors that he had gotten more cosmetic surgery to change his face. The lower half of the actor's face looked much more prominent, including his jaw and lips, which both looked to be fuller. Many Twitter users speculated that Efron may have gotten cosmetic surgery, like bad Botox or fillers. One TikTok doctor even thought that Efron could have recently got his wisdom teeth removed. Zac has not commented on the situation, but one of his best friends spoke out and denied rumors of the plastic surgery. And at number 4, Michael Douglas. Since he is married to Catherine Zeta-Jones, who is significantly younger than him, it's not a stretch to think that Douglas would have had some work done to look younger. According to the Daily Mail, it was reported that Douglas had Botox and a face augmentation or facelift in 2003 before the birth of his daughter. In 2005, these rumors surfaced once again when photos of the couple arriving in Barbados went viral because you could clearly see scars on both sides of his face, a telltale sign of a facelift. According to the Inquisitor, Douglas's publicist said in a statement that the cuts were due to the removal of a non-cancerous lesion rather than the result of plastic surgery. Catherine Zeta-Jones has stated that she supports getting plastic surgery, so the door is open to believe that her or her husband might have received some enhancements. And at number 3, Josh Hutcherson. Josh Hutcherson got a nose job in 2012, and this one is not speculation because he tweeted out confirming that he got the work done. After going under the knife to fix a deviated septum, he tweeted, quote, "Just had surgery to fix my broken nose. Recovery sucks. Thank God for a marathon on Lifetime. Hashtag the client list." He was seen out in bandages days after the surgery, but revealed his new look after being okayed by his doctor. Hutcherson was quite swollen following the procedure but looked to be in good spirits. Josh initially told his Twitter followers that he had the procedure to treat a broken nose, but later told TMZ that he went under the knife to fix a deviated septum, adding that his right nostril was 90% blocked and he had to get it fixed so he could breathe properly. Since it doesn't appear that his nose looks any different, it doesn't look like he got any cosmetic work done while he was getting the septoplasty. And at number 2, Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke is not a surprise to be on this list because he's been very open about his botched plastic surgery. Back in the day, he was a very successful actor, but after multiple botched surgeries, his career took a hit. In the early 90s, Rourke decided to take a break from his acting career and pursue a boxing career. He was a good fighter and won a lot of his matches, but his face paid the real price. After facial damage from the boxing, he underwent multiple surgeries to look how he had before. However, the botched surgeries temporarily hurt his acting prospects. He told the Daily Mail about the surgeries, quote, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of the boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together," saying that he broke his nose twice and had 5 surgeries to repair it, along with a smashed cheekbone. After correcting a lot of botched surgeries, Rourke's career is beginning to pick up once again, but he isn't done going under the knife. In October of 2017, he revealed on Instagram that he underwent yet another nose job to correct prior work, writing, quote, "Now I am pretty again." And finally, number 1, Enrique Iglesias. Enrique Iglesias decided to get a small change that dramatically changed his appearance. In 2003, he decided to get a mole from his face removed. At this point, he was already very famous, and the mole was well known by fans, but he decided to get it done after learning how easy the procedure was. He told Entertainment Weekly, quote, "I went to the doctor one day and he said I could have it removed in 5 minutes. I thought about it and asked, what are the consequences if I do it or if I don't? I don't really care. But the doctor told me at the time that the mole could cause cancer, so I thought, okay, go ahead, take it." Over time, he also has not showed any signs of aging, so it's rumored that he's had treatments like Botox and filler to mitigate these signs of aging. And at number 10, Christian Bale. Christian Bale is known for his intense dedication to his roles, and he's been known to physically transform many times to support his performances, the most notable of which saw him lose 62 pounds in 4 months for his role in The Machinist. When he got the part of Patrick Bateman in American Psycho, he decided to get plastic surgery to look perfect. Although he liked the look of them, Bale felt that his teeth were not right for the character, so he had them changed before filming. He told The Guardian in 2000, quote, "I liked my old teeth, I have a molding of them on my shelf, but with Patrick Bateman, his physicality is much more important than with most characters. I looked at myself in the mirror and it just wasn't right. I was warned that if I got caps I could get a lisp, and you might still be able to tell in a close-up. So I thought, I like my teeth, but I'm not so attached to them that I'm going to ruin this whole movie because I refuse to get them done." So even though there was no actual reason to do so, Bale got the painful process of getting his teeth redone. And at number 9, Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise shocked fans recently when he stepped out looking more puffy than ever, but after a close investigation, it's clear that there have been subtle changes in Cruise's appearance for years now. It's long been rumored that he had a nose job early in his career, but in 2012 he told Playboy, quote, "I haven't and never would." Although his good friend, Cuba Gooding Jr., put some cracks in that statement when he later insisted that Tom Cruise absolutely had work done. Cuba told a US TV show, quote, "I don't know what he's had done, but I remember I surprised him at his house one day and he had all of those dots all over his face. These dots are common for facial procedures so doctors can map out what exactly they want to do to the face. However, there is a chance that he had a consultation done, but never went through with the work." Then more recently at a baseball game, his face looked very full and puffy. Since it didn't look like he gained weight in an appearance later that month, it's clear he got some sort of Botox and filler. And at number 8, Howard Stern. Even though Howard Stern's voice is his main asset, he still decided to go under the knife to improve his looks. In the 90s, he felt he was the king of all media, not just radio, and felt he should invest in himself by amping up his appearance. He chose to invest in himself, undergoing a rhinoplasty to remove the bump on his nose, and liposuction to diminish the fat under his chin. He's only admitted to those 2 procedures, but it's been rumored that he's had much more done, maybe even a facelift. Either way, he looks great for his age, so whatever he's done has worked. And at number 7, Gene Simmons. Gene Simmons has been rocking with the band Kiss for decades, and obviously that kind of lifestyle is bound to take a toll on the body. Simmons claimed to have never gotten drunk or high in his career, and so he's actually in better shape than most. But as he got older, he decided it was time to change things up, and thankfully he has shared the work he's had done with the public. In 2007, he and partner Shannon Tweed openly got his and hers facelifts. It's also been reported that he's gotten Botox and even eyelid surgery, which is another common anti-aging procedure. Although he's gotten some work done, Simmons says he does not recommend any of his fans to get work done. He said, quote, "I don't recommend anything that I've had done to anyone. Just because I order something off the menu doesn't mean you should. Order whatever makes you happy. Everybody's journey should be a personal choice." In at number 6, Sylvester Stallone. Sylvester Stallone is one of those celebrities that have been frozen in time. No matter how many years passes, he still looks as good as ever. Despite recently turning 75, he truly does not look a day over 50. Because of this, many fans assume he's had some subtle work done, and they would be right. But probably not the type of work that you might expect. Stallone was born with a health condition that destroyed the nerves on the left side of his face. To fix these, he went under the knife many times to make his face symmetrical, but the surgeries were never able to fix it entirely, and he was known to be photographed on his right side so it was less noticeable. As he got older, the issue came back, and he tried to fix it once again with a facelift. Stallone spoke about his surgery to People, saying, quote, "People see this scar and think I've had a facelift. What they don't notice is that I don't have a scar over here by my right ear. What do they think? That I could only afford to do half of my face? Sure, why not do it? You have bodywork done on your car." Although he's owned up to the facelift, fans speculated that he must have had more work done to look so good. Halfway at number 5, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. This one was definitely the most shocking to me, although I guess it's safe to assume the world's highest paid actor would spruce up his looks if he felt he needed to. Although Johnson has not gotten the traditional procedures of Botox or a nose job, or at least he isn't admitting to getting those, since The Rock trained so much, he's put in a ton of work to get his rock-hard physique. He encountered a common issue called gynecomastia. It is a condition that results in the enlargement of the male chest through fatty deposits. So basically he developed man boobs. Since that was not the most appealing thing on screen, The Rock decided to have gynecomastia reduction surgery, which removed the excess fat from his breasts. Johnson was totally open and upfront about the surgery and his aesthetic motivations. And at number 4, Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is known for his famous scowl, which I guess adds quite a few wrinkles to the celebrity chef's face. After years of being pressured to make a change in his appearance, he finally went through with it and got some work done. Apparently his good friend Simon Cowell encouraged it, but his kids making fun of his wrinkles was the last straw. When talking about the procedure, he said, quote, "I've got 4 children, and they'd say, 'Dad, why do you have so many wrinkles on your face when Clementine's daddy has no wrinkles?' Then another time he said, quote, 'I woke up in the morning and Matilda, my daughter, was trying to squeeze pound coins in there.'" Poor man. In the end, he opted for laser surgery rather than Botox. However, he's since been suspected of getting everything from facelifts to hair transplants. He later stated he was never getting another procedure again. His kid was putting coins in his face. And at number 3, MGK hair transplant. This one is a little known procedure, but it made a huge difference in MGK's appearance. Back in the day, Coulson used to speak about his thin hair, and he consulted with his hairstylist to come up with ways that he could make his hair look thicker. Apparently, the stylist told him the best thing was to get a hair transplant. We aren't sure when exactly the change took place, but looking back on his old photos versus now, there's a massive difference. Before, his hair was a lot thinner and his hairline was farther back on his forehead. It looks like he underwent a hair transplant procedure where a plastic surgeon took hair from another part of the body and put it on his head. This process can take 3 to 10 sessions, which must be done months apart, according to Healthline. Each session costs from $4,000 to $15,000. And at number 2, Jeff Bezos. Since becoming the richest man in the world, Jeff Bezos has clearly taken more of an interest in his looks, and it's clear that he's gotten some work done. Shortly before he went to space with his crew, it was clear he had recently made a big change for the day. Dr. Corey L. Hartman, a dermatologist in Alabama, told the Daily Beast, quote, "It's such a drastic change." To poke fun at the change, Hartman posted to Instagram saying, quote, "We see you, Jeff. Next time get the filler a month earlier so that the swelling has time to die down. Keeps people like me out of your business." In general, his face looks more plump and even more swollen. The most noticeable change is his smoother skin and plumper lips. It's been speculated that he got Botox in his forehead, potentially a small facelift, or filler in his cheeks, then filler in his lips. And finally, number 1, Elon Musk. Doctors are convinced that the billionaire Tesla owner got a hair transplant at some point in his career. When we look back at old photos of him when he was in his 20s, it's clear that his hair was thinning a lot, and he was even balding on a large portion of his head. Now it's completely the opposite, and his hair is very thick. Since it is impossible for hair to grow back after falling out, doctors are certain that he got the hair transplant. Hair loss can be delayed or prevented with the use of special or proper treatment, but hair cannot regrow without an operation. Since he's become a more prominent figure in mainstream media, it makes sense that he would want to look his best and portray an image of being younger than he actually is.
Number 10. Zac Efron in Baywatch. Acknowledging his appearance changed in recent years, Efron explained that his looks changed after he fell over at his home and he broke his jaw in November of 2013, making his face and jaw muscles have to work extra hard. According to Zac, he was seeing a physical therapist to help him recover from this, but he briefly stopped while he was in Australia, where he taped 2 seasons of his Netflix series Down to Earth. It wasn't until 2017's Baywatch that fans really noticed the physical changes that Zac was going through. He was already a very muscular man. He claims to have starved and dehydrated himself for the shoot to appear more toned up. And on top of that, this was around the same time that his jaw started to reset itself, being noticeably stiff throughout the feature. His jaw is now more pronounced and it gives him like a more square but muscular face, almost appearing swollen sometimes. The look was only a third of the reason that fans hated this movie. It was also because of the terrible script and performances from its cast. Seriously, Dwayne Johnson, come on. Number 9. Sylvester Stallone in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Now, Sylvester Stallone's face is distracting in general. Ever since Rocky, this dude has looked like he's slowly been melting for 20 years, until suddenly a new face emerged. The fun thing with Sylvester is, depending on what movie you've seen between 2010 and now, depends on what you may have gotten in terms of face altogether. Around The Expendables, fans started to notice some subtle changes in his face. The cheeks were a little bit more prominent, he seemed to have more pronounced jaw, but the closer to the final Rambo movie we got, the more that he began to resemble his Rocky days. But most recently in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it seems that someone took a drywall scraper and just like slowly flattened his face. His eyebrows also look more pronounced, almost like they're the Nike swoosh. And while the overall film is not a flop, the scenes with Sylvester in them were universally agreed to be unnecessary and distracting to the overall project. Number 8. Mickey Rourke in Wild Orchid. Back in his early days in Hollywood, Rourke was known as one of the prettiest boys in town. He was often compared to the likes of Marlon Brando and James Dean. However, that reputation did not last long. Throughout the 1980s, the diner actor would always talk about his issues with fame and how he hated the industry. So, throughout the early 90s, Mickey slowly started getting into the world of professional boxing as an escape. This was the main cause for so much of his misshapen face. According to Mickey himself, he had slowly been dismantled by the sport, breaking his nose twice, snapping his cheekbone, and damaging his ribs and toes. Needless to say, a professional doctor advised him to hang up the gloves before it did too much damage, but unfortunately that damage was already done. In his 1990 film Wild Orchid, the actor's cheeks were visibly swollen and he just looked so different. Later in 2009, he admitted that these changes were indeed due to botched plastic surgery, as a lot of people speculated. Whether it was the bad acting or the bad surgery, the movie tanked at the box office and it currently sits at a 9% on Rotten Tomatoes. Since then, Mickey has gone under again for corrective surgery, but he still looks like a clay model of his former self. Number 7. Nicole Kidman in Bewitched. Nicole has been around for a while in the world of Hollywood, starring in everything from superhero movies like Batman Forever to the film on this list, 2005's Bewitched. The film was based around a TV series of the same name and featured Kidman as the lead and Will Ferrell as her co-star. The film was okay, it's fun for some, but for critics, it was a rough ride. One thing many fans noticed right away was that her cheeks looked suspiciously round. Like throughout the movie, the audience was left wondering what was happening to Nicole's face. Over the years, it has been speculated that she's gotten some kind of work done, but it was never actually confirmed. But just taking one look at a side-by-side proves that something has been done. Her cheeks look fuller, her face seems lifted, and there's a lot going on upstairs. This film was just the first of many to leave fans pondering what Nicole had been doing, and it did not stop there. The closer to 2020 we got, the more she appeared to have done, becoming nearly unrecognizable in her role in Bombshell. Number 6. John Travolta in Wild Hogs. John Travolta is a renowned actor who's been around for decades and's probably starred in at least one of your top 10 movies. However, the iconic Pulp Fiction actor surprised fans with what looks like the aftermath of botchy plastic surgery in 2007's Wild Hogs. Fans were convinced that John had some work done in his face and it had gone horribly wrong. Comparing his face to the Grease lightning star that we all know and loved, there are just noticeable differences under his eyes and around his jaw. He now had more of a square face with unnaturally straight bone structure that he most certainly did not have when he met Sandy. Of course, getting Botox, fillers, or even plastic surgery as a quick fix to hide the inevitable signs of aging is not that big of a deal in Hollywood, but Mr. Travolta might have just stepped into the wrong surgeon's office, as fans were shocked and critical about his new look. The film overall was just a little bit strange, but it had a nice premise. It featured some pretty stellar comedic actors like Tim Allen and Martin Lawrence and Ray Liotta. They played a wannabe crew of bikers who get more than they bargained for when they run into actual gang members. It sounds fun, but the entire film is derailed by the distracting face of John Travolta. Seriously, this dude went from grease lightning to being struck by lightning. Number 5. Helen Hunt and I See You. From Mad About You and What Women Want to Twister, there is no denying that Helen Hunt has been a tour de force on screens big and small for decades. In fact, she got her start as a child actor in the 70s. A lifetime in the spotlight means fans will always be curious about every aspect of your life. Considering the pressure to remain youthful in Hollywood, many fans wondered if Helen Hunt ever decided to get plastic surgery. Well, 2019 was a big year for Helen. She had several movies coming out and had just directed an episode of The Politician. However, the main draw of that year was her role in the horror movie I See You, with many fans claiming that the film was unwatchable simply due to her facelift. It seemed like someone was trying to CGI out all the age on her face, but it ended up looking just strange, weird. The negative online comments caused many fans to skip this one and wait for the home release. Who am I kidding? They torrented it. Number 4. Tara Reid in American Pie Reunion. Tara has starred in several comedy flicks over the years, but they tend to stick to the same category: schlocky and cheap, which are still fun, being a part of movies like Van Wilder, Sharknado, and of course the American Pie series. While she seemed to be on the rise, rumors of a serious attitude on set were slowly bringing her less and less roles, and a wardrobe malfunction at a party for P. Diddy in 2004, in which one part of her chest was visible for all the world to see, well, that didn't help either. She had clearly gotten some work done, which was obvious thanks to a certain body part being in the shape of a square and not a circle like it should be. She had also received many physical alterations to her face and stomach, with the latter being botched so horribly to the point where Tara had a hernia that prevented her from being able to work without a shirt on, which was apparently a big part of her career. When the gang got back together for the reunion, fans were curious to see where the film would take the crew and if it may be the first of many more American Pie movies. Unfortunately, the script combined with the distracting physical changes to one of its main cast members caused fans to peg this flick as a must-forget. Number 3. Jeremy Piven in Smokin' Aces. The Entourage star has not always been some cool guy in a suit. He's been a wide range of characters, from a bald store clerk to a villain in Spy Kids 4. This man is versatile, and so is his hair. In one of Jeremy's first acting gigs in Singles from 1992, he's very obviously missing the top of his head. His hair is slowly thinning, but is very clearly on its way out. Okay, so cut to the first season of Entourage, where his hair suddenly began to grow back. And by the time the 2006 movie Smokin' Aces came along, Jeremy had long hair. He looked like he was in a boy band that partied just a little bit too hard. This was a very distracting moment in the world of Hollywood and is a part of the reason that this movie tanked. It could be that, or it could be the terrible performances given by Piven, especially when you compare it to his co-stars like Ryan Reynolds and Ben Affleck, but who knows. It seems that the closer to 2020 we got, the more hair this dude had. He claims to have received hair transplant surgery, which was difficult to hide as he was bald one day and Elvis Presley the next. Number 2. Portia de Rossi, Arrested Development. While this may not be a film entry, how about the fact that she messed up a whole season of television just with her face? In fact, it had changed so much that her character was slowly written out of the series. The popular series returned after 7 years of rest, releasing an entire season, 15 episodes worth, all at once on Netflix. Now this is how the running joke heavy sitcom was really meant to be watched, all in one sitting over and over again at the viewer's own leisure. But it seemed that all the Twitter sphere could talk about was actress Portia de Rossi's face. De Rossi, who plays the vapid, self-centered, clueless Lindsay Bluth Fuquet in the series, had apparently gotten some work done as a side-by-side of season 1 to season 4 shows vastly different faces. Several plastic surgeons gave their take on the possible changes and agreed that it was very obvious that she had had some some work done. They report that she received a nasal tip reconstruction and Botox injections. Yeah, you don't need to be a plastic surgeon to see that one. Unfortunately for the show, that 4th season was not well received, and one of the many issues that fans seemed to have was the little to no explanation on why Lindsay looked like that. And at number 1, Kim Basinger in The Burning Plain. Kim was a rising star in the 1980s, being featured in rom-coms, action movies, dramatic pieces, each one just a little bit better than it would have been without her. Towards the end of the 1990s, she was still maintaining a steady career, but as we entered the new millennium, many were noticing several changes to her face. By the time The Burning Plain came out, it was obvious what was going on. Her cheeks were noticeably larger, leaving her with deep ridges. Her face was also suspiciously wrinkle-free, which made the changes even more obvious. Between the Botox, the facelift, and who knows what else, her role in the film was bogged down by the unrecognizable face of Miss Kim Basinger. Despite boasting a great cast with Jennifer Lawrence and Charlize Theron, the film tanked, and no one could take it seriously.
And at number 10, Dorit Kemsley. Dorit Kemsley has starred on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills since season 7, and her face has changed considerably since she's been in the spotlight. If you look even further back, Dorit looks unrecognizable from her younger self, leading many to believe she's had lots of cosmetic enhancements. Dorit addressed these rumors in a recent Instagram AMA. When asked if she'd ever had plastic surgery, she responded, quote, "The only plastic surgery that I've had done is my boobs. It drives me crazy when people say I've had plastic surgery on my face. I've done filler and Botox, and I work with masterful makeup artists who can transform your face." She has also addressed this topic in multiple reunions for the show. In last year's reunion, she said she thinks it's comical when people claim that she's had a facelift or a bunch of surgeries. She also revealed in this year's reunion that she's never had a nose job. But honestly, a lot of fans do not believe her. And at number 9, Courtney Cox. Courtney Cox was at the center of plastic surgery rumors when she all of a sudden looked unrecognizable from her former self. Courtney addressed the rumors and revealed that she did not have plastic surgery, but she did get fillers and Botox every now and then, which led to layers and layers of changes that she just didn't like. Cox told New Beauty, quote, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look like myself. I think that I now look more like the person that I was. I hope I do." And at number 8, Janice Dickinson. Janice Dickinson has been deemed the world's first supermodel, starting her career very early, then transitioning into reality TV and publishing. But as she got older, her looks changed in ways that she didn't like, and she started to get procedures to stay younger. She admitted that she got her first cosmetic procedure at the age of 33. In an interview with ABC News, Janice revealed all her procedures. Quote, "Brow lift, yes, I've had my brow lifted." She said, "I was getting a bit of sag coming down my face, so I lifted them up. Yes, I've had collagen put in, injections. It's for the fine lines on the face." Because of all her cosmetic work, she looks unrecognizable from who we knew in her modeling days. And at number 7, Melanie Griffith. Melanie Griffith says she didn't realize how much she had changed from her cosmetic enhancements until she heard what fans were saying about her appearance. She said, quote, "I didn't realize until people started saying, 'Oh my god, what has she done?' I was so hurt I went to a different doctor and he started dissolving all of the shit this other woman doctor had put in. Hopefully I look more normal now." Melanie also spoke about how her many divorces and substance abuse affected not only her life but her appearance as well. But following her split from Antonio Banderas, she says she's in a healthy place and is hanging out with her girlfriends. And at number 6, Tara Reid. Tara Reid underwent multiple plastic surgeries after she starred a few hit movies, including American Pie and the Pussycat Dolls. In 2004, after many of the surgeries were botched, she was forced to undergo corrective surgeries in 2007. She told Us Weekly, quote, "I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." After the botched surgery, she was unable to land the same high caliber projects that she had once before, and she was only considered for spoof movies like Sharknado. She told People in 2008, quote, "In my American Pie days, everyone was kissing my butt. I didn't realize how good I had it." Now she's terrified of ever getting surgery or cosmetic enhancements again. Halfway number 5, Reed Ewig. While Modern Family actor Reed Ewig was suffering from body dysmorphia, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, all of which he regrets. He told the Huffington Post that after all the swelling from the surgeries went down, the results were not all what he expected, adding, quote, "I vowed I would never get cosmetic surgery again, even though I was still deeply insecure about my looks. It took me about 6 months before I was comfortable with people even looking at me. I wish I could go back and undo all the surgeries." While he was recovering, he decided to take some time away from acting. And at number 4, Jennifer Grey. The legendary Dirty Dancing star was known for her unique nose that really made her stand out from the crowd. However, in 1989, after she became a huge star, she decided to get a nose job and made her nose look like every other big star, and sadly her career shrank alongside her small nose. The nose job was pretty minor, but because her nose was so distinct before, it made her completely unrecognizable. She said about the regrettable procedure, quote, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous. And because nobody recognized her, she didn't have the star power the movies were looking for and she stopped landing roles as a result." In at number 3, Rumor Willis. After Rumor stepped out looking very different from her usual self, fans speculated that she went under the knife. It was rumored that she received a nose job, reduced her chin, and had lip injections. It's not a stretch to assume that she's had work done, as Rumors admitted she supports plastic surgery and would be open if she went that route. She said, quote, "In Hollywood, I feel like there's a big stigma about hiding things, but people aren't stupid. If all of a sudden you jump from being an A cup to like double D's, people know. I just think you have to be who you are and own it, and not be ashamed to feel like you have to apologize." Rumors also opened up about feeling pressure from social media to change her looks because people are more vocal behind a computer screen. In at number 2, Bella Thorne. Bella Thorne was first known to the world as a Disney star on the show Shake It Up. But as she grew older, she changed more than what was possible naturally. Bella's been accused of having a nose job, boob job, and getting lip filler. It's speculated that she had her first lip injection when she was just 16 and had a rhinoplasty the following year. As for breast implants, one source claims she went from a 34A to a 34D. Bella has not commented directly on these surgery accusations, but from the changes it's assumed that she is not au naturel. And finally, number 1, Charlotte Crosby. The Geordie Shore star has been getting surgery ever since she got on TV and has changed drastically. It's at the point where some fans are worried she actually has a surgery addiction. Charlotte openly admitted that she'd had a nose job back in 2016. She also admits to getting lip filler once a year and getting a boob job to correct a medical condition she was born with that gave her a quote uniboob. The first cosmetic enhancement she received was a tattoo on her eyebrow so she wouldn't need to fill them in. At first, Charlotte hid her rhinoplasty from fans, but weeks later she posted a YouTube vlog about the entire process. After she posted photos from a holiday she took to Brazil, the comments accused her of getting more work done. One comment said, "She should have stopped with the surgery, Botox, and fillers a long time ago." Another person wrote, "Poor girl, her face is badly swollen. Is it an allergy?" So that is all for the list, guys. Let me know your thoughts on anything that I said below. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from our last marathon. So Kel said, "I'd love to see all the Real Housewives without any makeup on at all." I think sometimes we catch them if they're on like those trips. Sometimes you'll see them without makeup, but it's so rare to see them completely natural. They either have, maybe no makeup, but they'll have their hair done perfectly, or they'll have like some other thing, their skincare perfectly. Like, we never see these women just like real. And it's so crazy, especially someone like Kyle who's been on the show for ages. Like, you'd think she'd be just like more comfortable opening up and being natural. Maybe she is the most, but yeah, the difference would be very shocking. Then Katie said, "Ooh dang, I never knew that about Julie. She's so pretty, at least her surgery came out great." This person was referring to Julie Chen, who had an eyelid opening surgery basically. Had no idea that was even a thing. I'm happy she was open about it, but she looks fantastic. Whoever did her work did a great job. Then Nicole said, "My grandfather was born with the same condition the Chris frontman was born without an ear. My grandfather didn't have a right ear." I didn't realize that was even a thing, but it completely makes sense that he would want to correct that with surgery if he has the money to do so. In at number 10, Sharon Osbourne. Sharon Osbourne has been very open about her use of cosmetic procedures over the years. She even revealed in a 2013 memoir that she was done with surgery altogether. But that went out the window in 2019 when she revealed that she got another facelift, making it her 4th ever. Sharon is no stranger to cosmetic procedures. In 1999, she lost over 100 pounds after she underwent gastric bypass surgery. She also spent $120,000 on a facelift, tummy tuck, eye lift, abdominoplasty, liposuction, and Botox as well. In 2007, Sharon admitted that at that time, she had spent roughly $530,000 on cosmetic procedures in total. She's openly said in the past, quote, "There's not much I haven't tweaked, stretched, peeled, lasered, veneered, enhanced, or removed altogether." And of course, all her procedures have changed her appearance drastically. In at number 9, Julie Chen. Julie Chen is known as the host of the hit show Big Brother. She revealed to The Talk in 2013 that in the start of her career, she decided to have eye surgery that would make her eyes appear larger. Apparently, when she was starting out, she wasn't able to get an agent because they said her Asian eyes did not look good on TV. This pushed her to get an eyelid surgery, which she does not regret. When speaking about the procedure, she said, quote, "No one's more proud of being Chinese than I am. Every decision I've made, it got me to where I am today, and I'm not going to look back." In at number 8, Heidi Montag. The reality star went from girl next door to Hollywood Barbie after she got a number of plastic surgery procedures that made her unrecognizable. She even risked her life to have 10 procedures in one single day. Just some of the procedures that she underwent were a brow lift, a nose job, lipo on her stomach and thighs, and a butt augmentation. But after all her surgeries, she revealed that she regrets the decision, and she ended up having health problems because of all the stress to her body. She told Us Weekly in 2013, quote, "I just didn't realize what I was really signing up for. It just sounds so minor when you have a surgeon describing so much of it to you, like okay, great, a little of this, a little of that. You're not told the recovery time and the mental strain it will put on you and the long term." And at number 7, Kylie Jenner. Anyone with eyes can see that Kylie Jenner has had a dramatic change in her appearance over the last few years, and it seems that she has underwent cosmetic procedures in an attempt to look more like her sister Kim. In 2016, after months of denying, she finally revealed that she received lip fillers. She even revealed to Allure that at one point she regretted her full lips. She told her sister Kim, quote, "Well, I definitely made my lips a little too big at one point," adding, "Thank God I didn't end up on botched." Kylie has not admitted to any other procedures, but it's widely speculated that she's gotten filler in her cheeks and chin, along with a Brazilian butt lift and breast implants. And at number 6, Katie Price. British model Katie Price has been open about her many plastic surgery procedures that have changed her face considerably over the years, but she recently revealed that she regrets a lot of it, and at one point she felt like a monster. Katie has told media outlets that she received a full body liposuction under her chin, and fat injected into her bum. Apparently after one round of procedures, she was told she needed a blood transfusion, but she was too scared of getting COVID to get one. At one point she was regretting it all, asking herself, "What the F have I done? Honestly, I've gone to hell and back, it was horrific. Oh my god, I look like a monster out of a horror movie." She also revealed that she lost count of how many boob jobs that she's had over the years, saying it's around 12. Katie said she was all natural until she turned 30, now she has almost everything done. Halfway at number 5, Nikki Cox. Actress Nikki Cox was one of the hottest stars in TV in the late 1990s and early 2000s, but her career faded after some botched cosmetic procedures. The biggest difference seems to be her large lips and tight face. Some paparazzi photos of her were leaked in 2013, showing her looking much different than the woman that we had seen on screen, and many outlets called her botched and unrecognizable. One plastic surgeon gave his opinion on her look. He speculated that she didn't go under the knife, but claimed her shocking look is due to botched filler. And at number 4, Donatella Versace. Donatella got her fame through running high-end fashion brand Versace with her late brother Gianni, and in the decades since she's been a public figure, her face has changed considerably. Most would say for the worse. Over time, she's become unrecognizable, with her nose and lips changing the most. It's gotten so bad that Donatella has landed herself on pretty much every worst plastic surgery list that there is. Donatella has only admitted to getting Botox, nothing more, so she hasn't admitted to regretting any of her procedures. When asked about her different look, she said, quote, "I'm not like this genetically, I use tons of cream and take care of my hair and skin." And at number 3, Ronnie Ortiz Magro. Back in the day, the men of Jersey Shore were known for their chiseled abs and tan skin, but as time has gone on, the men have not been able to keep up with their strict diet and workout regimen, and they've lost the six-packs that they were known for. In 2019, Ronnie revealed he underwent liposuction to enhance his six-pack after welcoming his daughter Ariana the year before. While he was on the show called The Doctors, he said, quote, "A year ago to the day, my life completely changed. I had a little baby girl, she's like my guardian angel, and now I can't spend 2 or 3 hours in the gym every day like I used to." The procedure was a laser high-definition liposuction of the abdomen, which defined the area around his six-pack. And at number 2, Dolores Catania. The Real Housewives of New Jersey star went through multiple plastic surgeries since she became a star. She admitted to getting tummy tuck surgery, breast augmentation, facelift, liposuction, and a Brazilian butt lift. She revealed it actually put a strain on her relationship because her boyfriend did not support it at first. On the Getting Real with the Housewives podcast, she said, quote, "He was really angry. He was so mad at me and he didn't let up on it. I let him be mad for a little while and then I had to say, listen, you either live with it or we just have to move on." And finally at number 1, Larissa dos Santos Lima. The 90 Day Fiancé star revealed an entirely new look in September of 2020 after she allegedly spent $72,000 on cosmetic enhancements. These procedures included a nose job, liposuction, and breast and butt augmentation. She spoke about the procedures on an episode of 90 Day Fiancé Happily Ever After, where she said, quote, "I lose weight, I did butt to make it bigger, I did Botox, I did my nose, I did my lips, I did my cheekbones, I did my chin. I'm a new woman and I feel very happy." With all the cosmetic enhancements, she looks unrecognizable from how she looked before the show.
Number 10. Khloe Kardashian. Khloe Kardashian is one of many people from the Kardashian crew that I could have chosen for this list, but unlike some of her sisters, Khloe has opened up to fans about her cosmetic surgery journey, revealing her only regret about having a nose job. For years, Keeping Up with Kardashian's fans had questioned whether Khloe had any work done on her nose or any other part of her body really. During the show's reunion special last year, she confirmed that she had the surgery. She had apparently been hesitant to share the information with fans, as she claimed that the world is just a bit too easy to set off and that people would more than likely bombard her with backlash, which is exactly what happened. After revealing the truth, she was blasted with questions left and right. Why? What? When? Where? Huh? According to Khloe, the main reason she wanted to try something different was because she was tired of being compared to her siblings all the time. The Kardashian clan is large and filled with basically one of every kind of crazy, but Khloe has maintained that she regrets trying to alter herself just to be a little bit more different than her sisters. Number 9. Cardi B. Cardi B has never been coy about the plastic surgery procedures that she's had done. During an Instagram live video in December 2022, she talked about a procedure that she had done to her bum years ago and gave her followers a word of advice while doing so. Following the birth of her son, Wave, that's a great name, in September in 2021, people said that they thought she had work done, when in reality she had gotten surgery in August to have 95% of her bipolymer bum injection removed. She went on to tell people that they should do research and listen to their doctors, not just when it comes to bum injections, but also Brazilian bum lifts. Seriously, why can't I say butt? And all the other plastic and cosmetic surgeries. In 2019, the rapper got candid about having to cancel and postpone shows because she needed time off to recover from a liposuction. On Twitter, she talked about having to miss work for 2 weeks because of that. And in that same year, Cardi also told Entertainment Tonight that she had a chest lift after giving birth to her daughter, Culture, and was unhappy with needing to take the time off. So Cardi's biggest problem is not with the procedures themselves, but the recovery time it seems to take. Well, fear no more with InstaLift. No, I'm just kidding, that's not real, but oh man, I've got a good pitch for Shark Tank. Number 8, Chrissy Teigen. Chrissy Teigen has no issue when it comes to being open about what plastic surgery procedures she has done. The 35-year-old model recently took to her Instagram story to show off the results of the cosmetic surgery procedure that she revealed she underwent: buccal fat removal. The goal of buccal fat removal is to thin the cheeks, and specifically in the area of the cheek hollows, and I'm not talking about face cheeks. While she claims that the removal was a success and that she could see the results, the aftermath of the situation left her on the other side of the argument. She was candid about this procedure. Many were still questioning how she got her face cheeks to look so perfect though. Speculation started running wild of people claiming to know for a fact that she had fillers. In fact, an entire YouTube channel was dedicated to proving that this woman was made of silicone. She addressed the rumors online and claimed that she did in fact receive the aforementioned bum solution, but she denied that the claims that she received any kind of cheek fillers, and instead she made it known that she was not an advocate for body morphing, claiming that the only time that should ever be done is for medical purposes. Number 7. Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie has been a staple in the world of Hollywood ever since starring in the iconic 1978 horror flick Halloween. She slowly made herself a force to be reckoned with, making her way through several iconic shows and films before landing an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in last year's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Jamie has been very open about her life when asked in interviews. She is an open book ready to be read by any and all that are interested. When the topic of plastic surgery comes up, Jamie is very loud with her opinion, claiming people should not F with their faces. In 1985, Jamie underwent a handful of procedures to increase her beauty. She got Botox and liposuction, which she admitted made her feel terrible. She also recounted trying to change her hairstyle all the time, but the reinvention of Jamie Lee just never took place. Now in her 60s, Jamie is still stunning, and it's got nothing to do with surgery. Just a long life of running away from masked maniacs. Number 6. Kim Kardashian. The reality star can be tight-lipped about the cosmetic procedures that she has undergone, and has repeatedly denied getting plastic surgery, but on a forthcoming episode of The Kardashians, she seems to make a surprising confession. In a peek at season 3 shared by her sister Khloe on Snapchat, Kim is seen taking voice lessons. While talking to her vocal coach, the Skims founder admitted that she couldn't use her neck muscles to sing because half of hers were probably Botoxed. Kim admitted to having a little bit of Botox in a 2022 Allure interview, but claims that she's had no filler, adding that she will never fill her cheeks and she's never filled her lips and all this jazz. While this may be true, back in 2010, Kardashian suffered facial bruises after getting Botox before she turned 30, an experience that was documented on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Kim claims that the surgeon warned her of all the possible side effects, like they're supposed to do, but because it was the first time receiving the procedure, she flipped out in front of the cameras. Since then, Kim has steered clear of any more Botox-related procedures, claiming that she felt a constant burning sensation for days afterwards, being some of the most painful moments of her life. Number 5. Courtney Cox. The Friends star was speaking with the UK Sunday Times style magazine ahead of the launch of her new comedy horror TV show, Shining Vale, in which she plays a depressed novelist who moves from New York City to rural Connecticut with her family. Cox herself is facing up to the fact that she is not far off from 60. She admitted that she initially tried to fight aging with all kinds of cosmetic trends, but eventually realized that she had gone crazy and is now trying to age gracefully. Despite her global superstar status, Cox said her confidence was dented a few years ago after shooting a pilot for a series that was never produced. Thankfully, the treatment she received could be removed. Her face filler slowly dissolved, and it would appear that she's decided to steer clear of any more cosmetic situations, proven by her role in the new Scream series, where she really does not look all that different from her Friends days. Number 4. Sharon Osbourne. The Talk host, who is 70, admitted that she came to the decision to quit with the surgeries after an October 2021 facelift left her with one eye lower than the other one. TV personality and wife to the Prince of Darkness, Sharon previously spoke about regretting the horrendous facelift with the Sunday Times. She said she had a full facelift that October that left her looking like a mummy in an enormous amount of pain. Not only did the procedure leave her with one droopy eye, but she added that the 5.5-hour operation was not worth the time or the price tag. In fact, she kept calling herself a cyclops because they did such a bad job. At least she was able to laugh about the situation. Since her last botched job, Sharon has decided to steer clear of the whole surgical route for now, and instead is going with the au naturel look. Number 3. Tara Reid. Tara was initially a rising star in the world of Hollywood, being featured in several franchises over the years, but as time went on, her career slowed down and she was offered less and less roles. This was thanks to the reality series called Paradise, which showcased her penchant for the party lifestyle. A wardrobe malfunction at a party for P. Diddy in 2004, in which one part of her chest was visible for all the world to see, did not help the situation. Shots of her deformed chest quickly circulated on the internet, and Reid says that she was devastated. She had consulted with a plastic surgeon who gave her a completely different size than she had wanted, and Reid also had a procedure called body contouring done by the same surgeon, and she was unhappy with those results as well. Reid went under the procedure again one more time to get the previously botched jobs corrected. She says she saw a therapist for about a year to get help with her confidence issues and has settled down since her Paradise days. And on top of that, she's also steered clear from too many more surgeries, urging anyone who is going under to do some research first and, check those sources. Number 2. Mickey Rourke. In the 1980s, Mickey Rourke began to find success as an actor. He was praised for his appearance. The Independent compared his youthful appearance to Marlon Brando or James Dean. So when the actor's appearance changed in the 90s, fans started asking questions, and as it turns out, the explanation for the transformation, it makes sense. Speaking on the topic of plastic surgery, Rourke told the Daily Mail in 2009 that most of his was to mend the mess of his face after boxing. Rourke had cartilage taken from his ear to help rebuild his nose, which was an operation that he called one of the most painful things he had ever gone through. His biggest regret comes from not doing enough research before booking the appointment. Seriously, this whole list could just be top 10 times he should have done research. He's quoted as saying he went to the wrong guy to get his face fixed. Well, he has claimed that he's only had one more surgery to attempt to fix things. He has since become a public advocate for only getting surgery if it's for health purposes, because sometimes you need a part of your arm grafted to your shin. People are wild. At number 1, Nicole Kidman. Nicole Kidman has admitted that she regretted using Botox to battle the signs of aging. The Australian actress confessed that she did indeed use the cosmetic injections, but said that it was an unfortunate step in her beauty regime, adding that she was glad to regain some of the movement in her face. She recounts getting Botox at one point and claiming that it had unfortunately left her face looking a little disfigured, ultimately opting out to get another jab. She claims to have hated the way she looked when she first received the shots, very quickly realizing what a mistake she had made. She claims that her beauty comes from a natural place outside of that, saying in interviews that she is not one to advocate for plastic surgery. She claims to use sunscreen, not do any illegal substances, and she takes care of herself. Boring! Hey, if I had millions of dollars, I might drink a smoothie and hire a trainer too. But I don't.
And at number 10, Zac Efron. We know Zac Efron as the love interest Troy in High School Musical, but his new look has shocked his fans. After Zac appeared on a Facebook Watch event for Bill Nye's Earth Day musical, the internet was set ablaze with rumors that he had gone cosmetic surgery to change his face. The lower half of the actor's face looked much more prominent, including his jaw and lips, which both looked fuller. Many Twitter users speculated that Efron might have gotten cosmetic surgery like bad Botox or fillers. One TikTok doctor even thought that Efron could have recently gotten his wisdom teeth removed. Zac has not commented on the situation, but one of his best friends recently spoke out and denied rumors of plastic surgery. In at number 9, Dove Cameron. Dove Cameron is known for her roles in the Descendants franchise, as well as the show Liv and Maddie. But over the years she's gone through quite a transformation, and she's almost unrecognizable compared to what she looked like before. The most widely speculated procedures she has received are lip fillers, an eyebrow raise to give her a cat eye look, and a nose job. At one point her lips were so unnaturally large that fans said that her lips looked hard and like they hurt. Dove is still gorgeous, but instead of being known for her acting, she's known for having tons of procedures at a young age. And at number 8, Adrienne Bailon. The former Cheetah Girl and Disney star has opened up about regretting her decision to get breast implants in her teens. She told E! News in 2014, quote, "When I was 19 years old, I actually did get breast implants, probably one of my greatest regrets. I went from having an insecurity that I didn't have big breasts to now looking like an adult film star. And I was like, this is not great." She also revealed that she got the procedure right before she was set to film Cheetah Girls 2, and it was quite a shock for Disney executives. But she says the implants did not last, and she decided to get them taken out shortly after. She also added that it stretched out her skin, adding, quote, "It was not the smartest decision for my career and just for myself. It was wanting to feel like a woman." Thankfully, she was able to fix things and has a great career. And at number 7, Ariel Winter. You might not know that Ariel Winter was a Disney star because her roles with Disney were purely voice roles. Her Disney voice roles included Princess Sophia and her evil copy in Sophia the First, Gretchen the Fireside Girl, and Wendy Stinglehopper in Phineas and Ferb, along with a few others. And since we have seen Ariel grow up on the show Modern Family, there's been intense speculation that her mature look is due to plastic surgery. On one Instagram post, fans were calling out Ariel for changing, saying they liked how she looked before the plastic surgery. Ariel was so offended by the comment, she responded to it saying, quote, "I appreciate you wanting to help girls love themselves the way they are, but you're also kind of cutting someone, aka me, down, which isn't what I think you were trying to do. I also didn't get plastic surgery. That is also not being supportive of women if you're just assuming something about the way they look." She's been open about getting a breast reduction in 2015, but many think she is lying and had more procedures. And at number 6, Hayden Panettiere. Hayden Panettiere is another actor you might not have known was a Disney star as well. She voiced the character of Dot in the 1998 film A Bug's Life and Suri in Dinosaur in 2000, along playing leading roles in the movies Remember the Titans and Tiger Cruise. It's been rumored for years that she's gotten cosmetic enhancements. The most widely speculated is that she got a boob job sometime in 2013. It was also speculated that she got some Botox and fillers because her skin is smooth and her jawline is perfectly symmetrical, unlike before. Halfway at number 5, Fergie. Before she was known as the leading lady in the Black Eyed Peas, Fergie was a young actress and singer in the cast of Kids Incorporated, a Disney show in the 80s. And over the years in the spotlight, fans have deciphered some big differences from the star before versus now. It's been widely speculated that she had a nose job at one point in time because it's much thinner now than it was before. It's been suggested that she had a boob job as well. Many think Fergie went overboard with whatever work she's had done because people think she looks older than she actually is. And at number 4, Jessica Simpson. Jessica Simpson is known for being a southern bombshell that is a woman of many talents, making a name for herself as an actor and singer. During her time in the spotlight, she also worked alongside Disney. She performed a cover of Part of Your World from The Little Mermaid and performed a cover version of A Whole New World for the Aladdin Platinum Edition alongside her ex-husband, Nick Lachey. She and her sister Ashley Simpson also made an appearance on a Disney Christmas show and concert special. And when she got older, she decided to try cosmetic enhancements, specifically lip filler. But she hated it and regretted the procedure. She told Glamour in 2006, quote, "I had that Restylane stuff It looked fake to me. I didn't like that. But it went away in like 4 months. My lips are back to what they were, thank God. In at number 3, Cameron Diaz. Cameron Diaz is an American former actress, producer, author, and fashion model. She's best known for her role as Mary Jensen in There's Something About Mary, along with her role in Charlie's Angels. But she's also had some Disney roles as well. With Disney, she portrayed Jenny Everdeen in the 2002 film Gangs of New York. As she got older, Cameron started to try cosmetic procedures, most notably Botox. But after trying the injectable, she realized that she didn't want to try it ever again. She told ET in 2014, quote, "I've tried Botox before, where it was like a little tiny touch of something. It changed my face in such a weird way that I was like, no, I don't want to be like that. I'd rather see my face aging than a face that doesn't belong to me." And at number 2, Jamie Lee Curtis. Jamie Lee Curtis is a legendary actor who has starred in so many huge movies and TV shows there is truly too much to name. And many of those acting credits are thanks to Disney. With Disney, Jamie Lee played Tess Coleman in the 2003 remake of Freaky Friday and Aunt Vivian Viv Ash in the film Beverly Hills Chihuahua. She also played Gail Bayer Olsen in the 2010 film You Again. And since Jamie Lee is an A-list celebrity, she admits she succumbs to the pressure to look your best, and because of this she's tried a little bit of everything when it comes to cosmetic injections. But she regrets that decision and will not do it again. She said in one interview, quote, "I've done it all. I've had a little plastic surgery, I've had a little lipo, I've had a little Botox. You know what? None of it works. None of it." And finally at number 1, Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez might be one of the most famous Disney stars of all time. She went from a child actor on Wizards of Waverly Place to a bona fide megastar. At one point she was even the most followed person on Instagram. However, speculation over plastic surgery affected Selena very negatively, so much so that she deleted a photo of her that was at one point the most liked Instagram photo ever. The photo in question was of Selena in a strapless dress holding a drink, and in the photos, her breasts look much larger than we are used to seeing. Because of this photo, rumors that she had a breast augmentation were going wild on the internet. The comment section got so out of hand at one point that she decided to delete the photo altogether.
Donatella Versace was born in Reggio Calabria, Italy on May 2nd, 1955. She is the younger sister of the late famed designer Gianni Versace and described herself as, quote, "the baby of the family," saying that she was always the most spoiled of her siblings. Donatella has always been known for her appearance. She created her signature look of dyed platinum hair and black eyeliner as a teenager and has kept up this look ever since. Donatella has also been deeply submerged in fashion for her whole life. Growing up, her mother was a dressmaker and had her own business, so fashion, style, and design has always been part of her life, even before her brother Gianni started the Versace company. Donatella grew up being something of a model for her family's designs and styles. As a child, Donatella wore her mother's custom clothes, as she said that she was always, quote, "the best dressed little girl in the city," end quote. This carried into her teenage and young adult years, as Donatella has said that her brother Gianni used to make outfits for her and take her out with him for a night on the town, almost as to flaunt his mastery of fashion, but she didn't mind because she always looked good. Donatella and Gianni were very close, and she was always there to support her brother every step of the way, especially after he started his fashion company. Though Versace was a big family affair, with their brother also helping out in the company, Donatella and Gianni were really the ones who drove the fashion and design aspects of the company. Gianni relied on his sister for advice on his designs, and Donatella played a significant part in growing the public part of the fashion brand, organizing their fashion shows and advertising the company. Donatella also played a part in, quote, "bringing some rock and roll spirit and celebrity cash to the line through her connections with Madonna and Elizabeth Hurley." Donatella later became the chief designer at the company's Versus line and became more involved in the business in the mid-90s during her brother's battle with cancer. They became concerned with the business and its succession, so the family came up with a succession plan in the case of Gianni's death because this company meant so much to all of them. Gianni's health scare prompted the family to become more hands-on, especially Donatella, who gave so much to the brand to keep it alive. Miraculously, Gianni ended up beating cancer, but sadly, the family was still struck with tragedy when Gianni was killed in 1997 when he was shot outside of his home in Miami, Florida. Just a few days after his death, the company announced that Donatella would be acting as Versace's artistic director, but by that time, this role wasn't anything new for Donatella, as she was already taking a leading role in the company for the past 2 years before her brother's passing.
Donatella's career had shifted and was beginning to grow even more, and as the new face of Versace, there was a new weight on her shoulders to keep the family's business and her brother's legacy alive and well. Image became even more important than ever before. As a hard-working businesswoman, she wanted to appear as best she could in the eyes of the company, but as a public figure and the head of a high-fashion brand, her looks had to be maintained, and so she entered into the world of plastic surgery. At the time of her brother's death in 1997, Donatella's appearance looked pretty untouched by plastic surgery, and being 42 at the time, she still looked very youthful, but it seems as though over the years, the more plastic surgery she's received, the older it made her look. By 2002, Donatella's facial features had changed dramatically, looking more like she looks these days. Her appearance seemed like it started to change shortly after her divorce from her husband, so maybe that also had something to do with it, or it could also have been a result of the industry that she works in, being that plastic surgery and harsh beauty standards are very apparent in fashion. This change in appearance could also have something to do with her substance abuse as well. In 2005, Donatella opened up about her substance abuse, sharing that she had been addicted to no-no-snow for the past 18 years, and that she sought out help at a rehab center in Arizona. As we all know, regular use of these kinds of substances can alter your appearance, and so perhaps Donatella began her plastic surgery in an effort to correct any damage that had been done due to her substance abuse. It was also at this time that she admitted to getting Botox, saying that she didn't believe in, quote, totally natural for women, end quote. By 2011, that's where things get a little concerning when it comes to Donatella's appearance. People had started making comments on her face, saying that clearly Donatella had started to go overboard with the plastic surgery and Botox. Some doctors made comments about it, saying that at this point her skin and its elasticity was starting to look papery and weak, which is a sign of many cosmetic treatments and sunbathing. One doctor also pointed out that at this point her lips and cheeks looked like it was no longer being receptive to Botox, which is probably why she had been getting so much more, and damaging the rest of her face in order to correct things. It sounds like a very vicious cycle that Donatella just couldn't break. Donatella continues to get fillers, facelifts, and other procedures, but some experts say that all of this work is just making things worse for the design mogul, because instead of correcting her appearance the way she wants it, it's just worsening it, making the results last for less and less time. Donatella used to be a model before fully taking on the business end of Versace, so that career ended a long time ago, but her career as a businesswoman is still kicking for the most part. From what I've read and heard, some people think that because of her appearance, had Donatella been in a different industry or had a different job, then she definitely would have seen a drop in credibility and loss of work, like we've seen in Hollywood with a number of actors, but because of her status in the fashion world, there's really no way of ending her career, but people can still make comments about her and the way that she looks. The only way that she could truly end her career is by pulling the plug on it herself. She's too highly respected as a designer to be cancelled for something as menial as too much plastic surgery, but I'm sure that there are still people out there who would certainly try. I personally think that Donatella is an icon, and you might think me a hypocrite for making this video, but I truly do like her, and I couldn't care less about what she looks like. She's a fashion icon, she is talented and hardworking, and at the end of the day, those are qualities that really define a person, not their looks.
And at number 10, Jennifer Grey. The legendary Dirty Dancer star was known for her unique nose that really made her stand out from the crowd. However, in 1989, after she became a huge star, she decided to get a nose job and made her nose look like every other big star back then. And sadly, her career shrank alongside her nose. Her nose job was actually pretty minor, but because her nose was so distinct, it made her completely unrecognizable. She said about the regrettable procedure, quote, "I went into the operating room a celebrity and came out anonymous." And because nobody really recognized her anymore, she didn't have the star power that movies were looking for, and she stopped landing roles as a result. And at number 9, Dana Delaney. Dana Delaney took her career to new heights after she starred in the hit sitcom Desperate Housewives for a number of seasons. I think I've said on the channel before that is literally one of my all-time favorite shows. However, after the show ended, she decided to try some Botox, which sadly stopped her career in its tracks. Apparently, her dermatologist was telling her to try it because he had such great results with his other clients. But quote, "He injected my forehead, hit a nerve, and created a huge hematoma," adding quote, "The nerve has been dead ever since. It affected the muscle in my right eye, so my right eye has started to droop a little bit." Thankfully, she did start working again eventually, however it did take a while for her to regain her confidence to be on screen. And at number 8, Tara Reid. Tara Reid underwent multiple plastic surgeries after she starred in a few hit movies, including American Pie and the Pussycat Dolls. In 2004, after many of the surgeries were botched, she was forced to undergo corrective surgeries in 2007. She told Us Weekly, quote, "I had a hernia, this huge bump right next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." After these botched surgeries, she was unable to land the same high caliber projects that she had before, and she was only considered for spoof movies like Sharknado. She told People in 2008, quote, "In my American Pie days, everyone was kissing my butt. I didn't realize how good I had it," adding that she's terrified of getting surgery ever again. And at number 7, Reed Ewing. While Modern Family actor Reed Ewing was suffering from body dysmorphia, he underwent several cosmetic procedures, all of which he regretted. He told the Huffington Post that after all the swelling from the surgeries went down, the results were not at all what he expected, adding, quote, "I vowed I would never get cosmetic surgery again, even though I was still deeply insecure about my looks. It took me about 6 months before I was comfortable with people even looking at me. I wish I could go back and undo all those surgeries." And while he was recovering from the swelling and trying to come to terms with his new look, he stopped working. And at number 6, Lisa Rinna. I know Lisa Rinna best as a cast member on The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. However, many fans of the show might not know that she had a budding acting career early on that was cut short because of bad plastic surgery. We all know that Lisa is famous for her big lips, but she became unrecognizable in the mid-80s after one of her lip injections went wrong. She said while on the Today Show that she decided to get silicone injected into her lips when she was only 24 years old, adding that it was a stupid thing to do. However, she said that more recently her lips were getting yucky, so she asked her doctor to remove as much of the silicone as they could. A lot of people speculate that her large lips cost her a lot of work in Hollywood, and that's why she was only ever cast in small roles. She also told MomLogic.com, quote, "When you change your face, you don't look like yourself. Looking fresher is one thing, I looked like a freak. I always said I wouldn't change my face, but I did." Halfway at number 5, Ashlee Simpson. Ashlee Simpson's career went downhill for a number of reasons, but one of those reasons is actually due to cosmetic procedures. Back in 2006, Simpson appeared on the cover of Marie Claire magazine, preaching self-acceptance of one's body, telling the magazine, quote, "Everybody is made differently, and that's what makes us beautiful and unique. I want girls to look in the mirror and feel confident," which was actually a very uncommon message at that time. But it seems that Ashlee was caught being hypocritical, and after the issue hit stands, she actually underwent a nose job. Now it's important to note that nobody probably would have cared about that nose job if she didn't preach self-acceptance beforehand. However, after people learned of this nose job, they were outraged, and the magazine actually got thousands of letters from readers about Simpson not practicing what she preached. And at number 4, Lil Kim. Lil Kim was at one point the queen of rap, even winning a Grammy. However, she became unrecognizable following dozens of surgeries and other cosmetic procedures, and her career took a hit as a result. In a 2005 interview, Kim did admit to getting a nose job, then to getting another rhinoplasty after she suffered a broken nose from an ex-boyfriend. However, she never admitted to anything more, even though other work was pretty obvious. Experts also said that she definitely had some sort of skin bleaching, using acids or creams to lighten her skin. There's also speculation that she got cheek fillers as well. Of course, the music had a part in her decline, however many fans just couldn't relate to her anymore after all her work. And at number 3, Nikki Cox. Cox was one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood in the 90s, starring in tons of hits around that time. However, after her appearance changed dramatically, so did her career. Nikki not only changed her appearance, but it seems that she was botched as well, forcing her to only do voiceover work since 2009. One plastic surgeon told Radar Online, quote, "She definitely appears to have gotten some sort of filler in her cheeks and lips. Injectables always look best on a person when they are not noticeable, not when everyone can tell that a person had work done." The doctor also says that he doesn't believe that she got anything more, even though it might seem that way, because clearly whatever work that she's done was gone overboard. And at number 2, Kenny Rogers. The late Kenny Rogers decided to undergo some cosmetic surgery, and it took a huge blow to his confidence. He told CBS host Gayle King in 2012, quote, "I was trying to hide myself. I had the money to do it and I had the time off. It's one of those things that I think everybody, you look at yourself and go, could I be better if I did this or did that?" Adding that he regrets doing anything, and he's always very curious as to what he would have looked like without it. Adding, quote, "You do it and you live with it." He also said that the changes in his appearance did not affect his music or singing voice, but rather his confidence to get on stage and make music. He even cancelled some shows during his 2018 farewell tour because he was battling health challenges, which some speculated was due to plastic surgery. And finally at number 1, Cardi B. Cardi B loves making money, and she's often said that she doesn't care much for music, but rather the money that it's brought her. However, her money train was temporarily put on hold when she had to cancel a few of her tour dates to recover from surgery. She had complications from liposuction and was still in the process of recovering from breast implants. She clapped back at critics who called her lazy for getting the lipo instead of working out, and she replied that being an entertainer is a 24-hour job and she doesn't have time to work out. She added, quote, "I hate canceling shows because I love money. I'm a money addict. I get paid a lot of money for these shows. I'm canceling millions of dollars in shows, but health is wealth, so I have to do what I have to do." Apparently all the traveling was making her body swell and putting her at serious risk of further health complications, so she decided to take a break and heal.
Kicking off this list is Jocelyn Wildenstein. She's an American socialite but is known for her extensive cosmetic surgery, which resulted in her cat-like appearance. During an interview with Dr. Young, a popular celebrity plastic surgeon, he said, "Jocelyn is a poster child for plastic surgery gone wrong. Reports say that she underwent dozens of surgeries in an attempt to win back her husband, Alec Wildenstein, after her divorce from the billionaire was heavily documented." Dr. Young thinks she might have undergone a brow lift, facelift, lip plumping injections, chin augmentation, fat grafting and or cheek implants, upper and lower eyelid surgery, and canthopexy, which is a procedure that gives your eyes that cat-like appearance. However, Jocelyn has always denied getting any plastic surgery and says that she has always looked this way, despite photos completely proving that otherwise. Up next, number 9 is Tara Reid. Most of us would look at her in the American Pie movies and say she looks absolutely perfect. There is no denying that she is a total babe. But in 2006, she decided she wanted to get some plastic surgery and got a procedure called liposculpting, which ended up going horribly wrong. She has openly talked about it and said the surgery completely botched her stomach. She even went as far as saying it was the reason that she couldn't book any movie roles after that. During an interview in 2007, she said, "My stomach became the most ripply, bulgy thing. I had a hernia, this huge bump next to my belly button. As a result, I couldn't wear a bikini. I lost a lot of work." Tara also admitted that her breast implants were botched by the same doctor and she was left with deformed nipples. Honestly, what a nightmare. I mean, maybe the first time you should have learned not to use the same doctor. I'd be suing. I'll tell you that much. Swiping the number 8 spot is Carrot Top. The comedian's real name is Scott Thompson, but he got the nickname through his stand-up comedy career. Over the years, people have accused him of getting plastic surgery, which he has always denied. Whenever he's been asked about it during an interview, he always says that it is makeup that makes him look so different. But Dr. Young has given his professional opinion. He said Carrot Top is looking more and more like a muscle-bound cartoon character. He seems to have an excessively arched brow and a smooth face, possibly the result of laser treatments or chemical peels. So there is no confirming that he has had any work done. If he says he hasn't, like, we might want to believe him, but there is a huge difference when looking at old pictures and new ones. It honestly just looks like every part of, like, every feature is just glued in place. Like, it's very, you know what I'm trying to say there? In spot number 7 is Heidi Montag. The Hill star could now be called the plastic surgery queen because she did what seemed like the impossible and underwent 10 surgeries at one time. And I'm not talking about like cosmetic procedures like little fillers, I am talking about full out surgeries. Heidi openly talked about it and revealed at one point that she was almost dead on the table and they didn't know if she would make it out alive. The long list of surgeries include a brow lift, Botox in her face, a nose job, a chin reduction, fat injection in the cheeks, ears pinned back, nasolabial folds, lip, neck, waist, hip, and thigh liposuction, breast implants to a size F, a butt augmentation, and her back curved. Honestly, half this list I didn't even know you could do to your body. Heidi said at the time she wanted to look like Barbie and she actually wanted size H breasts, H for Heidi she said, but they wouldn't fit. However, now she fully regrets her surgeries and said that she would never do it again and does not wish that upon anyone. Moving on to number 6, we have Mickey Rourke. At one point in time, he was being called the next Marlon Brando and was starring in movies like Body Heat and Angel Heart. But his looks have changed drastically, and not in a bad way, it's just different than what we're used to seeing. In 2017, pictures of his new look went viral and had people shocked at how unrecognizable he was. He's opened up about the surgeries and said it was all a result of injuries that he got from his time as a boxer. He said, "Most of it was to mend my face, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together. I had my nose broken twice, I had 5 operations on my nose and 1 on my smashed cheekbone." It has been an ongoing debate on whether it was for injuries or cosmetic reasons, but to me it kind of sounds like a mix of both. Like, because of the injuries, he probably wanted some like cosmetic help, you know, to fix things. Halfway through list, number 5 is Rodrigo Alves. He is famous because of his plastic surgery transformation, as he transformed basically into a human Ken doll. He became a television personality, and as of 2018, he had undergone more than 103 cosmetic procedures. 51 of them were plastic surgeries. But not all of his surgeries went smoothly, and one of them in 2018 left him with a sinking nose. He explained to his followers that he had 11 nose jobs over the years and that his nose is basically just collapsing. Now, I should mention that he has recently transitioned into a female and prefers to go by the name Roddy. During an interview in January, she said that she regrets the plastic surgery as the Ken doll because she just got it to try and make herself more manly to fight her feelings of wanting to become a woman. Next up at number 4 is Kenny Rogers. Back in 2006, he told People magazine that he was not happy with his plastic surgery after his eye lift procedure. He said that it drove him crazy. His eye lift basically tightened his eyelids and it almost pinned them like in a new place on his face. Dr. Young spoke on his procedure and said, "Kenny Rogers gambled with plastic surgery and lost. With his tight eyelids, he no longer looks like the scruffy masculine man we knew in the 70s. He does look different when comparing before and after pictures, but I honestly don't think the surgery looks that bad. Like, it's not as intense as other ones that we've seen on this list, but I get what they mean. It does look maybe a little more feminine, people would say." In the 3rd spot is Pete Burns. The singer from Dead or Alive sadly passed away in 2016, and before his death, he revealed that his plastic surgery almost killed him. During an interview, he opened up about his plastic surgery, saying he had more than 300 procedures done, which led him to almost dying just 3 weeks before his actual death of cardiac arrest. A month before that, he went on the TV show Botched Up Bodies, where he revealed that he went into depression because of his botched procedures. He ended up with blood clots and pulmonary embolisms in his heart, legs, and lungs, which left him close to death. The doctor actually told his family that there was a 2% chance of survival, and his family called in a priest thinking that they would lose him. He was in the hospital for 10 days before he had recovered. Making her way into number 2 is Donatella Versace. She is the chief designer and vice president of Versace with a company value of $2 billion. She is 65 years old and continues to deny having any kind of work done to her face, but people have been calling her out on it for years, even doctors. She looks drastically different and says that it is because she uses a lot of creams and good face products. She did admit to some Botox, but says there has not been anything else, so I will let you guys be your own judge. Dr. Young says that she developed something called a trout pout, which is when your top lip is bigger than your bottom lip. Naturally, the human body's bottom lip is normally 50% bigger, but he says it would be reversed if you had fillers and other work done on the face. Earning the number 1 spot is Michael Jackson. After his death, we heard from people we did not expect. His plastic surgeon through the 1980s and 90s, Stephen M. Hoffman, and his dermatologist Arnold Klein. There were many theories going around at the time about the reasoning behind his drastic transformation. Arnold explained that he had body dysmorphic disorder and saw his nose as getting fatter even though it was getting smaller. Michael always said he only had 2 nose jobs done, but the experts said it's impossible for one's nose to look like that after just 2. He actually estimated that he had closer to 20 procedures done to his nose over the years. An expert also said that he had his hairline, eyebrows, and eyelash lines tattooed, as well as using a skin lightening bleaching cream. Now, I know this whole bleaching thing has always been a very big debate because Michael said that he never used that, so I'm not trying to accuse anyone of anything. This is just from an expert standpoint. They think that he used a bleaching cream. Like, that's crazy that that even exists. lists. Starting us off at number 10 is Victoria Beckham. The fashion designer and former Spice Girl is beautiful nonetheless, but has publicly admitted to regretting her decision on getting plastic surgery. She said what she regrets the most are her breast implants that she got when she was just a teenager. So much so that she ended up getting them removed. She was 18 years old when she first got them done, and during an interview in 2017, she said, "I should probably say, don't mess with your boobs. All those years I denied it. Stupid. A sign of insecurity. Just celebrate what you've got." I personally remember idolizing the Spice Girls like religiously when I was young, so to hear that even she would suggest not getting them is very important. I'm honestly really glad that she's open and honest about her experience with it, because I think especially for young girls who still look up to the Spice Girls, this could be very eye-opening for them. Up next, number 9 is Cher. There is no denying that the 74-year-old icon still looks incredible for her age, and we can probably say that plastic surgery has helped with that, but she has openly admitted that. She's always been open about the work she's had done and has cracked jokes about her facelift. But she doesn't regret anything that she's had done to her new face transformation. The one thing she regrets is her breast augmentation. I'm already seeing a little trend happening here. She told People magazine that the surgery was a nightmare. She said they were really botched in every way. If anything, they were worse after than before. Clearly, that was not the goal when going to get the procedure done, but she has been able to hide it well, and certainly it has not hurt her confidence. Well, that we can tell. Sliding at number 8 is Courtney Cox. The Friends star looks a lot different than when we saw her playing the iconic role of Monica Geller on the TV series. And that's because gradually over time she's had a lot of work done to her face, which she now regrets. She had an open talk about it with New Beauty and said that it all started when doctors told her that a little injection and filler here or there would not do any harm. But things went too far, and the actress said she did not look like herself anymore, which is not what she wanted. She said, "I've had all my fillers dissolved. I'm as natural as I can be. I feel better because I look more like myself. Everything is going to drop. I was trying to make it not drop, but that made me look fake." She also admitted to stopping treatment and procedures like altogether. Regardless, she was beautiful as Monica, and she is still beautiful as Courtney, but in pictures comparison, they do look like two different people. She did not need to touch her face. She was so freaking pretty. That like hurts me. It literally kills me when like stunning people fix themselves. Moving on to number 7, we have Chrissy Teigen. She is now known for being a mother to John Legend's kids, who tweets sarcastic comments and has her own cookbook and company, but she was once a model with big dreams. In May 2020, she talked to Glamour UK and revealed that she had breast implants done when she was just 20 years old. She said she did it because she was modeling swimsuits at the time, and when she laid on her back in the photos, she wanted them to look perky. But then she had babies and said the milk made them deflate. She ended up announcing on her Instagram recently that she was going to have her implants completely removed because she's simply over it. Chrissy seemed excited for the surgery, stating that she wants to be able to zip up a dress in her size and lay on her belly with just pure comfort. When she got them done at 20, she was a model regardless because she was stunning, and admits that she didn't need the boobs. She just kind of wanted them. And she was young and a model. I can just imagine the pressures at that age, especially swimsuits. In at number 6 is Mickey Rourke. In the prime of his acting career, he was a total heartthrob, but there was a time when he had a different career where he took some shots to his handsome little face. He was once an amateur boxer and said that after some injuries he underwent some plastic surgery in hopes to fix it, but admitted that he chose the wrong doctor. Never a good thing. Back in 2017, when pictures of his new face surfaced online, people were in complete shock with how different he looked. He talked about his decision for plastic surgery and said, "Most of it was to mend the mess of my face because of boxing, but I went to the wrong guy to put my face back together." Some of the injuries he had was a broken nose twice and a smashed cheekbone. He said he doesn't regret the decision to get his face fixed, but he regrets the doctor he went to. Yeah. We have made it halfway through and we have Tara Reid. The American Pie hottie has been open and honest about her plastic surgery experience in hopes to help other women before choosing to get work done. She got breast implants in 2004, which caused issues for her body in other places. She said that her stomach started to ripple and caused her to have a hernia, leaving her with a huge bump next to her belly button. She regretted it so much that she said it was the stupidest thing she's ever done, and she actually had the procedure reversed just 2 years later. She also had to get liposculpting done on her stomach to fix what had happened. Even after getting her breast augmentation reversed, she said that she was left again with deformed breasts. Oh, it's always a risk, you guys. You know, there are a lot who do have success, but that's so scary. Cruising into number 4 is Jennifer Grey. The Dirty Dancing star has always had a very distinctive face and was known for her stunning looks. But when she decided to get rhinoplasty, it changed everything, and she said it was the worst decision she's ever made. She said the operation completely changed her face and it ruined her entire career. When speaking about it during an interview, she said, "I went in the operating room as a celebrity and came out anonymous. It was like being in a witness protection program or being invisible. I'll always be this once famous actress nobody recognizes because of my nose job." Now, I don't think she looks bad. Like, it's not like the surgery botched her face physically, but she does look like a completely different person. Like, when I saw pictures, I was like, literally different person. So I do understand what she means. And that one's really sad. In the 3rd spot on our list is Kourtney Kardashian. Plastic surgery is no surprise to the Kardashian sisters, but it might be surprising to know that Kourtney regrets some of it. In 2011, she was talking to Showbiz Spy and said that she wished she didn't get her breast implants when she was 22, or at all. She said, "I had my boobs done, but if I could go back, I wouldn't have done it. I was so cute before. I've realized that I was made to look a certain way and I'm considering removing them." Now, obviously this interview was years ago, and if you see her these days, she has not removed them, but her opinion still stands, and honestly, it's probably even more so now because she's a mother of 3. So, you know, she's had to gone through the whole breastfeeding thing, the milk, and she probably just sees the whole thing from a different perspective now. Rolling into number 2 is Joan Rivers. Going under the knife has never been a secret when it comes to this comedian. She's publicly talked about her procedures, which is a pretty decent list. Apparently, she's had a facelift, a nose job, a breast reduction, chin tucks, Botox, collagen, eye procedures, and lipo. She's actually happy to have the work done, but one thing she regrets is the lipo because it did not go as planned, which I think we know by now is a huge risk. She explained that she did not research the doctor enough before going, and the result of it just was not smooth. She also said if she could go back in time, she would have never done it. Maybe not with this doctor. Like, I feel like she might have done it with another one since she has had all the other work done. Obviously, she's not opposed to it, but didn't go as planned. Earning the number 1 spot on our list is Heidi Montag. The Hill star takes the prize after having 10 surgeries done at one time and giving herself a total transformation, leaving her to look like a totally different person. She once wanted to look like Barbie with size H boobs for Heidi. Like, literally, those were her words. But now she's an advocate for girls and encourages people to accept themselves rather than getting work done. She said she completely regrets it and wishes that she could take it all back. During an interview, she said, "Surgery ruined my career and my personal life and just brought a lot of negativity into my world. I wish I could jump into a time machine and take it all back. I would never do it again and I never recommend it to anyone." She explained that at first, she only went in there wanting a few enhancements, but then it just got completely out of hand.